Dear participants and guests, we are still waiting for AK Naik sir, as there is a network congestion from Naik sir side. So we will wait for a few minutes, sir.
Have you talked to him, Rohit?
Yes, sir. I am just talked with him, sir, and there is a network congestion from Naik sir side. So we are just resolving it, sir. Yes, Naik sir, please unmute, sir.
Sorry, I'm extremely sorry. I got disturbed due to network connection. So actually, there is some tower problem, perhaps Wi-Fi and mobile, everybody failed. Choudhary sir, namaskar. Once again, welcome to this webinar. Namaskar, sir. Namaskar. It's our privilege, and we are very much honored that Honorable Patna University Vice Chancellor is present on today's webinar. Sir, other guests are there. Perhaps Rohit, everybody introduced or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I welcome all of them, sir. But please introduce with
Wing Commander Prabhakar will be joining just after 5 minutes.
I joined.
Oh, joined. Yes.
Yes,
Thank you very much. Actually, I got disturbed due to the network problem. Prabhakar ji, you have been introduced with the Honorable Vice Chancellor?
No, not that way.
Acha. Dr. G.K. Choudhary, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Patna University, today's chief guest.
Okay.
Sir, here is the Wing Commander Professor Prabhakar, who is the President-elect of Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers, National President.
Very nice and nice interaction with we'll have more interactions. We'll love to have him, Professor Girish Kr, wherever the platform IIT is there. So we'll definitely have a lot of collaboration and
I'm
I think
also
we'll have a long role to play together.
I'm also fellow member of IIT.
Yeah. So you are aware?
Yeah, I'm fellow member.
I know. I can understand. And basically,
Choudhary Sahib, fellow of IIT as well as IE also, Institution of Engineers.
Okay.
Also.
Yeah.
And here is Sir Dr. G.P. Sahu, our keynote speaker, professor and former head of the management of NIT Allahabad, Motilal Nehru National Institute of Technology, Allahabad. Sahu ji, you must have introduced with the Honorable Vice Chancellor and Prabhakar ji, our National President-elect for the IIT. And here is Dr. Subhash Jadhav, the keynote invited speaker of today, Professor and Head Department of Computer Science and Technology of the Central University, Jharkhand.
Prabhakar sir को भी प्रणाम, GP sir को भी प्रणाम.
नमस्कार सर.
सभी शिक्षाविदों को प्रणाम.
So are you? You remember we met in Hyderabad?
Yes, sir. I remember. No, I was trying to recall you, sir. But somehow, yeah. So thank you very much for reminding.
We had a nice interaction for 2-3 days.
Right.
Sir, here is Professor Ganesh Pandey, the Deputy Director of Indian Institute of Business Management. He is in the line also. Ganesh, Choudhary
good morning, जी sir. Good morning, sir. सभी लोगों को good morning.
Good morning.
And let me introduce Prabhakar ji. Mr. Vinay Kumar Johri Sahib is there, the Honorable Secretary of Computer Society of Lucknow chapter.
Good morning, sir. Good morning to all.
Johri Sahib, you have been introduced with the Honorable VC sir as well as the Prabhakar ji now.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. So I am Vinay Kumar Johri, Chief Manager, retired from State Bank of India, Lucknow. And I am Honorary Secretary of Computer Society of India, Lucknow chapter. And we have blessings of Naik sir always. So thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Sir, let me introduce our foreign speaker today, Mr. Gautam Hadari, the technical director of the GSM Limited from London, and he's a very regular speaker in our many of the webinars, national and international. Gautamji, are you hearing me? Perhaps audio is
Yes,
not
I can.
And Honorable Vice
Hello,
Chancellor
everyone.
Sahib, today's chief guest,
Hello.
Dr. Girish Kr ji, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Patna University, and guest of honor, Honorable Prabhakar ji, he is the National President-elect of the Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineer. Let me introduce one of our most senior-most members from Nasik, Yogesh Tiwari ji. Tiwari Sahib.
Namaskar.
You kindly get introduced with the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Patna University, who is the chief guest today, and Prabhakar ji of the IIT President, National President-elect.
Namaste, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
मैं योगेश तिवारी. I am in IT field since 1984. I have been associated with Nayak sir since very long time. Hello.
Rohit?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Should we start? Then people
Sure,
should be
sure.
joining and
Sure,
slowly and
sure.
steadily. But
Sure,
enough people have joined also.
Sure, sir. So once again, very warm good morning to all dear participants, guests, and my dear friends. My name is Professor Rohit. I am Assistant Professor of IIBM Patna, and I welcome you all in this today's one-day international webinar on data science and machine learning. So to start this session, I would like to call Professor Dr. A.K. Nayak sir for welcome and opening address. But before we proceed, let me introduce Dr. Nayak. Dr. A.K. Nayak, presently the advisor of IIBM Group of Institutions, is the former president of Computer Society of India and former director of Indian Institute of Business Management, Patna, a 42 years old premier B school. He is having more than 36 years of experience in teaching, training, research, and administration in the field of computer science, information technology, and management. The former president of ICT section of Indian Science Congress Association and former chairman of Indian Society for Technical Education Bihar Jharkhand section, Professor Nayak is the fellow of Computer Society of India, International Society for Research and Development, UK United Writers Association, United National Association of Computer Educators and Trainers and Management Studies and Promotional Institute, New Delhi. Professor Nayak is associated with the academic programs of more than 40 universities, including as a member of Board of Studies, Governing Council, school boards of several universities, organized and participated more than thousands of conferences, seminars, workshops, training programs, faculty development programs of national and international level, either in physical as well as in virtual mode. He has participated as a chief guest, guest of honor, preside over, keynote speaker in more than hundreds of universities and institutes of national and international repute. He has represented as an expert member in several bodies of Government of India, state government. He has also authored 162 papers, 12 books, and edited 9 books, 10 proceedings of national and international conferences. He has also received many national and international awards, and his biography is already published in 7 international directories. Professor Nayak has worked as an expert member as CEDTI Government of India, reviewer of DST Projects Government of India, member Board of Directors DNS of Cooperative Management Government of India, Journal Coordinator National Institute of Electronics and Information Technology Government of India, expert member Banking Services Recruitment Board, Bihar Public Service Commission, Bihar State Technical Education Boards, Bihar State Secondary Education Boards, and many more. At present, Professor Nayak is the member of Board of Studies of Computer Science and IT, AICTE, Government of India, and member of Bureau of Indian Standard, Government of India.
So with all these words, I'd like to welcome Professor Dr. A.K. Naik sir for welcome and opening address.
Thank you very much, Rohit, for your brief introduction. And very august welcome to each and everybody who have been connected with this one-day international webinar on data science and machine learning, a topic of the latest importance that everybody knowing so far as the data science and machine learning are concerned. Honorable Chief Guest of this occasion, respected and learned Vice Chancellor of Patna University, one of the oldest university of the country, as per my knowledge, the 7th oldest university of the country, who has already completed its centenary celebrations and having the existence of more than 100 years. And Dr. Zakir Choudhary is the Honorable Vice Chancellor of such a dignified university of national as well as the international level. Honorable Guest of Honor, my colleague, my friend, Professor Wing Commander P. Prabhakarji, the President-elect of Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers, who will be taking the charge of this great organization as the National President from the month of October. The keynote speaker of the today's important international webinar, Professor G.P. Sahu, the head and the professor and former head of Department of Management Studies of the great National Institute of Technology, Motilal Nehru National Institute of Technology, Allahabad, who is an institution of excellence that everybody know, having the reputation of the national and international stature. The invited speaker of this occasion, my beloved academic son and my colleague in the Computer Society of India Executive Committee, when I had been the president of the society, Dr. Subhash Chandra Yadav, the professor and head Department of Computer Science and Technology of Central University, Jharkhand. The foreign speaker who is participating in this auspicious webinar, Mr. Gautam Hadari, the technical director of the GSM Limited of United Kingdom, and who had been kind enough to participate in more than dozens of the webinar conducted by this institute or in the platform of the Computer Society of India at different locations of the country. The Deputy Director of Indian Institute of Business Management, Professor Ganesh Pandey, Director of the Institute of Management, Professor Vinay Kumar Singh ji, and the Honorable Secretary of the Computer Society of India, Lucknow chapter, Vinay Kumar Johri Sahib, our very prominent colleague and very senior most member from the Nashik of Computer Society of India, Yogesh Tiwari ji, and many other dignitaries who have joined on this auspicious occasion and who will be joining after some times also after. And I am welcoming each of you from the core of my heart on behalf of this great institution, Indian Institute of Business Management, having the 42 years of the existence in the field of management, computer science and information technology, hospitality management, journalism and mass communication, which got established in the year 1979 and credited as the first institution in the country, in the undivided Bihar and Jharkhand to start the academic program in computer science and information technology in the year 1980, and first institution in the country in the private sector and fifth oldest in the whole as a whole in the country to start the 3-year diploma in hotel management and catering technology, the first institution in the undivided Bihar and Jharkhand to start the journalism and mass communication education and full-time BCA program, and many records have been there established with this institution. And I am very proud of that, being a founding member of this group of institution and lead the institution as the director, as well as today I am working as the advisor of this group. Let me introduce the credential of this group. Its sister concern established at Dr. Zakir Hussain Institute at Patna, having the pan-India presence in almost all prominent cities of the country, including all the cities of Bihar and Jharkhand. The group is the pioneer responsible for establishing 2 universities at northeast part of India. One is at the Nagaland by the public-private partnership of the government of Nagaland, the Global Open University, and one is at Arunachal Pradesh, the Indira Gandhi Medical Science and Technological and Medical Science University. And we are also pushing towards establishment of one private university in Bihar, for which the project has already been undertaken, and it is in the initial stage. We have acquired 25 acres of the land in the district of Banka. And with these things, and from this August institution, and on behalf of its managing committee, on behalf of the teaching faculties, and behalf of the student communities, I once again extend my hearty welcome and my millions and millions of gratitude and thankfulness to these honorable dignitaries, particularly to the honorable chief guest, the guest of honor, keynote speakers, and other invited speakers who have been present here to glorify this international webinar, where they are provoking and thoughtful deliberations, and from which the connected delegates will be definitely benefited, and definitely they will be getting the knowledge, and which will be satisfying the great pankti of Bhagavad Gita, Jad jada charati shrestha tattada itaredana sahajat praman kurute danaha tadan vartate. अर्थात महत जन महाजन जैन गतस्य पंथा, जो महानुभाव बोलते हैं, जो बड़े लोग बोलते हैं, जनरली जो यूथ कम्युनिटी इसको अनुसरण करते हैं, वही मार्गदर्शन पर चलते हैं, और वो भी एक ना एक दिन इसका मंजिल प्राप्त करते हैं. So definitely the people, particularly majority community of the students who have been connected with this webinar, they will be much benefited by the thoughtful deliberations of this great personality today. And what has to be told today, our honorable chief guest, Dr. Choudhary Sahib, who has been very kind enough to grace this occasion as the chief guest and deliver his inaugural address, a man of standing and a man of stature, and a great academician of the national and international level, and who is leading the 7th oldest university of the country, Patna University today. And prior to that, he has already created a number of milestones so far as the academics is concerned. And prior to this, he has served as the Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor of the Patliputra University of Government of Bihar. And prior to that, he has served as the Dean of the multiple faculties of the National Institute of Technology, Patna. Besides that, the Board of Studies of many of the universities and many of the academic distinctions has been credited into his credit. Besides that, Dr. Choudhary is also a prolific writer and having the publications of the magnitudes of more than hundreds, as well as has left his academic spot in the hearts of each and every academicians and individuals of the state of Bihar in particular, in the country in general. And today's guest of honor, my colleague, my friend, and one of the pioneers in working the Computer Society of India also, and previously the chairman of the Computer Society of India, Chandigarh chapter, and who has established many milestones so far as the history of the Computer Society of India. And today he is going to lead one of the largest technical and professional societies, that is the Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers, as its national president from the month of October. And we all of us feel proud for his great achievement and for his future leading to this great society, and under whose leadership definitely I believe the IIT will also achieve the scale of height so far as the actions are concerned, so far as the function organizations are concerned, and so far as the visionary project to be undertaken that is concerned. I am very proud of you, my most beloved colleague, and we work together, Honorable Wing Commander Prabhakarji, with him. Not only a man who is leading the professional society, but he is wing commander also, professor also, and having lot of academic credits also, and his detailed biography will be read by our host when his term will be coming. At the same time, I welcome Dr. G.P. Sahu, the learned professor and former head of the Department of Management Studies of the Motilal Nehru National Institute of Technology, that is at Allahabad, and what's his contribution to for the benefits of the Computer Society of India that cannot be explained by few words. And Dr. Sahu is at present leading the e-governance special interest group of the Computer Society of India. And recently we have all seen how successfully he has conducted the e-governance activity in the Lucknow. And the e-governance award ceremony has been completed, and a record number of participants, as per my knowledge is concerned, 200 of the projects have been submitted this year for the e-governance implementation, comprising of almost all the 29 states of the country, as well as the union territories and many public sectors. And how big job he performed on behalf of the Computer Society of India, one can imagine, for scrutinizing in 3 rounds of the scrutinization, as well as the field visits of 107, near about 200 projects, as I know, near about exactly 178 projects perhaps. It's not a very small task, but along with him, his co-convener, Mr. Dwivedi from Allahabad, and himself, with the help of many CSI stalwarts, they became able to scrutinize everything properly and very transparent manner declared the e-governance award, where the secretaries and principal secretaries of many of the governments, state governments, have been participated in a 5-star hotel in Lucknow, and which has been inaugurated by a colorful function by Honorable Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath ji. We are very much grateful, Saudi, for your great endeavor on behalf of the Computer Society of India, and it's a great thing and that you have performed. And as the past president of the society, I feel proud because of the stalwart like you, who have, as well as the stalwart like Prabhakarji, who had been my colleague and who had been also what we work together, and that's a great thing for the Computer Society of India. I must have to welcome my beloved academic son, Dr. Subhash Chandra Jadavji, to whom I always feel as my academic son, and because everywhere I bless him, as well as he always remain in the constant touch of mind, whatever the activities might be conducted by him at any university level and any place. And he is a very prolific speaker, as well as a prolific writer, and he has into his credit the 4 number of books he has published in the field of C++ and cyber security, and one of the authorities so far as the learning of the cyber security is concerned. In the same time, I also welcome Mr. Gautam Hadari, who had been kind enough to participate as a foreign speaker in our more than 1 dozen of the activities so far. And whenever I approach, he never say no, rather very happily he accept our invitation, and he very kindly graced the student community as well as the youth community, and have also shown the path so far as the technological journey is concerned for these youth professionals. And today's webinar topic, which is a great concern and which is a great topic of this current time, the data science and machine learning. It is nothing to be mentioned. Our honorable speakers, particularly the keynote speakers and the invited speakers and foreign speakers, will deliberate very detailed on this aspect and what is the importance of keeping this theme as the part of the international webinar. There is no doubt, so far as the volume of increment of the data and is going so exponentially, and time to times the people like us who are the old people like me, like Honorable Honorable Vice Chancellor and by Honorable Prabhakarji, everybody has seen what the things and how the computing has been step forward since 1950 to till date. And we do remember before 7.5 decades when the first computer launched in the Pennsylvania University of USA by 2 professors of the electrical engineering department, James Eckert and John Makule, and was having the size of 500 square feet and was having only 18,000 electronic valves and only 5,000 number of calculations. And we came across within the 7.5 decades. Now we can have the calculations in the, we are considering the tera instruction per second, and so far the storage capacity that has gone from the kilobyte to the bytes to kilobyte, megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte, then petabyte, exabyte, and in the IoT environment, we are considering the zettabyte, that is 10 to the power 21, that is 1 billion of the trillions of the characters that can be stored. So this is the tremendous pace of the changes. Regarding so far the data is concerned, everybody known in 60s, just we have started the scientific computing where very less volume of data, isolated data were being used, but the complexity and volume of calculations were quite huge. But in 70s, we have started the business data processing, the volume of data became involved more, and calculation became very simple and very low amount of the calculation, but a proper data organization method was sought, because as I do remember the great stanza of Swami Vivekananda, necessity is the mother of invention, and every cover is uncovered when it is discovered. Because when the necessity was there, when the huge volume of data became involved, then a proper data management way has been discovered, that is the file management system. Then the volume of data became increased due to the business computation, by the result of which in 80s we did have the database management system, 90 relational database management system, 2000 that is the data mining, 2005 data warehousing, 2010 big data, and we are in the era of the data sciences. And to my knowledge, what the data sciences, this is a complex study of the very huge volume of a repository of the data in any organization, whether you can tell starting from the inception and origination of the data, recording of the data, and the interpretation, tabulation, classification, manipulation, dissemination, distribution, communication, and distribution of the data, and all kinds of operations that can be performed on the database. And particularly, but the thing is that when we do consider the concept of the big data and big volume of data that have been arrived due to the exponential growth of the data, due to the market competition, due to the business competition, due to the competition in the social sector, and due to the more and more inventions and application of the computers and information technology at the different stages of the thing. And you interpret the big data and to manage the big data and take the proper decision, the right decision at the right time, at the right place for the right person. So that is why the data got manipulated, and artificial intelligence particular application derived and which has been terminated as the business intelligence. We have developed like from AI, artificial intelligence, to business intelligence, to CI, computational intelligence, to DI, data intelligence, to at this stage we are talking of the emotional intelligence. Whatever the development have been happened from time to time. Once upon a time we are working with only organized data, but due to the involvement of the big data, we are working with the structured data as well as the unstructured data, unorganized data. That is why the new tools have been developed like NoSQL, like Hadoop, and all the techniques there. Similarly, machine learning becomes very important due to its nature and structure, that it is the concern of the study where the machine can learn the things without the involvement of the programming, without the program, and the algorithm can be applied along with for the future prediction of the things. And many of the tools that is very important and very concurrently with the machine learning language, whether you talk of the Python, you talk of the R programming, and all these things are like that. And these languages are getting so popularity, the traditional and conventional concept that you must be knowing. The previously what we are doing under the Java environment, and this year the Python has replaced 38% of the same, and the Java application, the Java environment. Perhaps the days are coming, these things will be taking to the better and greater shape, and this will be dominating. Using all these things, being all this requirement and all these emerging trends in the particular field, we thought that machine learning, data science and machine learning will be a very appropriate topic on which the discussions can be done, and a webinar of the international structure can be organized so that the student and youth community will be benefited out of this. And when the learning invite speakers will be deliberating their thoughts and their thoughtful deliberation as they are provoking knowledges in this particular field. That is, as a result of this, today we have been assembled today. Today we have been assembled, and that the community, the student community, the learner community who have been connected today, definitely I do believe when at the end of the webinar, they will be getting the good content, and they will be getting the good content with the satisfaction, and they will not only to listen, because somebody had told if you listen, you may forget, And if you read, you can understand, but if you practice, then you can realize whatever the things will be discussed, then they can think and they can make practice, so that that will be realized by them in the future, realized by them in their respective fields, and definitely they will be widely benefited. But one of the things we must have to do, whatever the level of this communication and information technology application should be there, and whatever the latest technology will be utilizing, because there are multiple technologies, there are advanced computing methodologies, they are available. It is the time of the integrating and interfacing of these technologies, so that suitably applied for the benefits of the mankind. So how the benefits of this particular the computing and the application of the information technology will be reaching at the doorstep of the every people, providing their basic needs, and to satisfy the great concept of Bhagavad Gita, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pasyantu Ma Kasti. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, and have a very nice good morning, and welcome to everybody, as well as and praying to everybody and expressing the sincere gratitude for your gracious presence. Professor A, can I conclude his speech? Thank you very much.
Nayak sir, namaste. Good morning.
Oh, Dr. R.R. Deshmukh, my beloved younger brother, has been connected, and recently, by the grace and the blessing of Prabhakarji, he got elected as the member-elect to the National Executive Council of the IIT, and he is the professor and former head and dean of the Computer Science and Engineering of Marathwada University, Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University of Aurangabad, Maharashtra. Deshmukh Sahib, meet, you know Prabhakarji, who is our guest of honor today, but kindly meet our Honorable Vice Chancellor, who is the Vice Chancellor of the Patna University, the Vice Chancellor of the 7th oldest university of the country, Honorable Zakir Choudhary, who is the chief guest on this occasion, and shortly will be delivering his inaugural address. Deshmukh Sahib and Choudhary sir is also there on the line. So,
yeah, Choudhary sir, namaste. Good morning. Sorry for late connecting due to some network.
No problem. You are not late. You are at the right time. अरे मेरा भाषण तो आप सब टाइम में सुन रहे हैं. अभी जो honorable guests are there and speakers are there.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Naik sir. And now we will proceed towards our next session, and it's the time for our chief guest address. And our today's chief guest is Professor Girish Kr Choudhary sir, Vice Chancellor, Patna University. But before we proceed, let me introduce Dr. Girish Kr Choudhary sir. Professor Girish Kr Choudhary is the Vice Chancellor of Patna University, has joined university on September 2020. He is a professor of Electrical Engineering, National Institute of Technology, Patna. He was born on 8 August 1959. After matriculation in 1975, he acquired diploma in electrical engineering, securing first class with distinction. Thereafter, he acquired BSc in electrical engineering degree in 1985 with a distinction, securing first rank in Patna University. He was awarded Principal's Gold Medal for his service and excellence in various extracurricular activities. During the engineering study, he got the opportunity to work with All India Radio Patna as an engineering assistant. Thereafter, he joined as an assistant engineer in VSNL. Being interested primarily in academics, he left VSNL and joined Bihar College of Engineering, Patna as a lecturer in electrical engineering in January 1988. Apart from teaching, research, and administration work of the college, he continued his academic journey by acquiring PhD degree from the Patna University in 1988 and was promoted as an associate professor and thereafter as a professor in 2006 in NIT Patna. In addition to large number of publications in a number of journals, conferences, symposiums, he has supervised many PhD theses and PhD dissertations. He is the first person who has acquired a patent in NIT Patna. He is also having the experience of handling externally funded projects as a PL and organizing faculty development programs as a coordinator. Apart from teaching the research at UG, PG, PhD levels, he has experience of working successfully on many challenging administrative posts such as IT, HOD, IT, electrical engineering, Dean P&D, Dean FW, and many more. So with all these words, I like to welcome our today's chief guest, Professor Dr. Girish Kr Choudhary sir, for his address.
Paying my all respect to Choudhary sir, sir, I want to introduce one of our colleagues who is here. I welcome Dr. Dinesh Sukhwal ji, our former chairman of the Computer Society of India, Udaipur chapter. Dr. Dinesh Sukhwal ji, Dinesh ji, are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Dinesh
Sukhwal sir, chairman Udaipur chapter, CSI.
Our honorable Vice Chancellor of the Patna University, the 7th oldest university of the country, today is the chief guest, and he will be delivering his inaugural address just short while. I thought that to introduce you with him. So,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes. Good, sir.
Now I would like to welcome Professor Dr. Girish Kr Choudhary sir for his address, our today's chief guest.
Thank you, sir. I am audible.
Yes, sir. You are completely audible, sir.
Professor A.K. Nayak, who is presiding over this inaugural function. Professor P. Prabhakar ji, President of Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers, India. Professor G.P. Sahu ji, Professor and former Head, School of Management, Motilal Nehru National Institute of Technology, Allahabad. Professor S.C. Jadhav ji, Professor and Head, Department of Computer Science, Central University, Jharkhand. Professor Gautam Hazare ji, Technical Director, GSM Association, London, UK. Ganesh Pandey ji, Vinay Kumar ji, Jogesh Tiwari ji, Rohit ji, R.R. Deshmukh ji, Dr. Dinesh ji, and many participants who are present over this webinar. Press media, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank Professor A.K. Nayak, who have given me opportunity to interact you all people. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I will not take much time because I am having another meeting at 12. And Professor Nayak was told me that I will take only 15 to 20 minutes. So I will take excuse for half an hour. So sorry for that. So first of all, again, I would like to thank Professor A.K. Nayak during this pandemic. जो मैं बोलना चाहूँगा, जो लॉस हुआ है इस ग्लोबल में, हमारे कंट्री को सबसे ज़्यादा लॉस एजुकेशन के फील्ड में हुआ. बट ड्यूरिंग दिस पैंडेमिक हम लोगों ने बच्चों को जो शिक्षा दी ऑनलाइन के थ्रू, जिसमें कि इस तरह के वेबिनार का और इस तरह के लोगों को अवेयरनेस का प्रोफेसर A.K. नायक जी को जाता है. इन्होंने बताया कि दे हैव ऑर्गेनाइज्ड मेनी नंबर ऑफ वेबिनार्स ड्यूरिंग दिस पैंडेमिक और लोग इससे लाभान्वित हुए हैं. लेकिन मैं एक चीज जरूर मानता हूं, मैंने कहा कि एजुकेशन फील्ड में सबसे ज्यादा लॉस हुआ है कि जो ब्लैक बोर्ड टीचिंग से जो हम लोग इनपुट बच्चों को दे पाते हैं, ऑनलाइन टीचिंग में उतना पॉसिबल नहीं. फिर भी जो सिचुएशन आया, हम लोग इसको जो परेशानी हुई, इसको हम लोगों ने अवसर में बदला और इस आईटी के माध्यम से हम लोगों ने कहीं एजुकेशन को पीछे नहीं रहने दिया. हम लोग कोशिश कर रहे हैं इस पैंडेमिक में भी कि बच्चों को जैसे भी हो इस इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी के माध्यम से जितना भी हो सके, जिस फील्ड में हो, चाहे वो साइंस का हो, इंजीनियरिंग का हो, आर्ट्स साइंस, हर फील्ड में बच्चे कंप्यूटर फ्रेंडली हो चुके हैं. हमारे टीचर जो संस्कृत अरबिक के भी, वो भी कंप्यूटर फ्रेंडली हो चुके हैं. और ये आज जो हम लोग मीटिंग कर रहे हैं, ये आईटी की देन है. इसमें नायक जी जैसे लोगों की बहुत कंट्रीब्यूशन है. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपको सर.
थैंक यू.
आपने जो आज टॉपिक ली है, डाटा साइंस एंड मशीन लर्निंग, इन्होंने बहुत सारा डिटेल में बताया डाटा साइंस का, लेकिन आज जितने भी है जो भी हम रिसर्च कर रहे हैं, चाहे साइंस के फील्ड में हो, इंजीनियरिंग इवन देन सोशल साइंस के फील्ड में, बिना डाटा के कोई रिसर्च संभव नहीं हो। डाटा को कलेक्ट करके ही उसका एनालिसिस करके रिसर्च कर रहे हैं। और इसमें डाटा का स्टोरेज, कैसे डाटा को सही तरह से रखें, डाटा वेयर हाउसिंग, डाटा माइनिंग, बहुत सारा चीज़ें हैं, लेकिन डे बाय डे डाटा के वॉल्यूम बढ़ते जा रहा है। उसको कैसे मैनेज करें, कैसे उसको रिट्रीव करें, कैसे उस पर काम करें, बहुत बड़ा चैलेंजिंग है। और इस फील्ड में इन्होंने अगेन आज इस तरह का टॉपिक रखा, डेटा साइंस एंड मशीन लर्निंग। हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि इसमें जो भी पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं, बच्चों को और जो भी हैं, सबको बहुत लाभ होगा। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। थैंक यू सर।
Thank you very much, sir, for your gracious presence here, as well as your blessing to this audience on this occasion as the chief guest and in the way of the inaugural address. And you told the very correct thing. That is the thing when this pandemic period, particularly whatever the things we are being able to deliver as well as to manage, it is due to the blessing of the ICT, information and communication technology. ये नहीं होता हो सकता आज हम पैंडेमिक पीरियड से उभर नहीं सकते थे। आप लॉजिस्टिक मैनेजमेंट का बात बोलिए, मेडिकल साइंस मैनेजमेंट का बात बोलिए, मेडिकल इंफॉर्मेशन सिस्टम का बात बोलिए, एजुकेशन का सिस्टम बात बोलिए। सर ने जो बोले ऑनलाइन लर्निंग, ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन, जो कि वर्ल्ड का 70% स्टूडेंट ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन का थ्रू में शिक्षा ग्रहण किए, जबकि 30% स्टूडेंट नहीं कर पाए कोई कारण का चलते। बिजनेस हार्वर्ड का जो रिव्यू है, but still then this online education was the only alternative for us to continue our educational tempo and spirit during the pandemic period. There is no doubt, and the time is coming, and everybody knows that in our new education policy 2020, the 40% importance has been given in the online mode, and the virtual university, virtual laboratory, and virtual classroom, all these things are being thought of, and we do things along with the industry 4.0. We are also entering into the education 4.0. Definitely, there is no doubt. And sir ने जो बताया, this data science and machine learning का relevance है, definitely, because data का volume बढ़ने का साथ साथ, so volume of data भी बढ़ा, varieties of data भी बढ़ा, velocities भी बहुत बढ़ना, velocity भी decision लेने के लिए data का बढ़ा, and इसका validity भी बहुत बड़ा concern. So varieties, validities, velocity, and value and volume, these are the 5 V's which are playing most importance so far as the data science is concerned. Thank you very much, sir. Once again, on behalf of this IIBM and behalf of its management committee, on behalf of the students and teachers, and behalf of these participants of the webinar, we express our sincere gratitude and thankfulness for your gracious presence. You are a very busy person, because heading the Patna University is not a small matter, but still then you spare your time. That is why we are very much grateful. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, VC sir. And now we will proceed towards our next session. And it's a time for our guest of honor's address. And our today's guest of honor is Professor Wing Commander P. Prabhakaran, retired. Professor Wing Commander P. Prabhakaran is a person with academic and professional accomplishments, vast administrative experience, and proven leadership role in technical organizations. He has a vision for the promotion of science and technology, research and development, higher technical education, innovation in modern technologies have been his passion. He is BTech Honors, Merit Scholarship holder, AMIETE, MTech, PGDM, 6-month training at IIT Kanpur, 1-year comprehensive training with MS, Macrine Aviation, Traction, France, training and on modern radar at LRDE, Bangalore, and EMP measurement training at Defense Lab, Jodhpur. He has more than 47 years of professional experience. In 1974, began his career as assistant professor in an engineering college. In 1975, was selected as a commissioned officer in the Indian Air Force. During service career, held various prestigious assignments, and was selected as a project leader for induction of weapon system Mirage 2000 and commanded 2 Hi-Fi units. After a glorious service, he took premature retirement in 1997 and immediately got associated with various universities and engineering colleges as an academician, researcher, and director principal, chaired conferences on fertile technologies, and published research papers in referred journals. His area of expertise is signal and system electronic instruments, computer communication networks, wireless and optical fiber communication, cyber security, ICT, and many more. Implemented innovation projects appreciated, honored, and awarded by various organizations, is also a recipient of prestigious International Excellence Award in Teaching from Rotary International. He has long association with IETE since 1979 as a chairman Chandigarh Center, added auditorium committee, room and e-learning facilities as a major source of revenue generation. He has been council member from 2004 to 2006 onwards. At present, he is a senior IETE vice president. In 2013, he successfully conducted Diamond Jubilee Seminar at NIT Srinagar. So with all these words, I like to welcome Professor Wing Commander P. Bhavakar sir for his address.
Good morning all, and thank you, Professor Rohit, reading my biodata. This is a part of the section, but normally I say one should be very brief. Biodata, it should be, your personality must speak for your actions. So basically, I must thank Professor A.K. Naik, our colleague, and first of all, he invited me and given me an opportunity. Same is Chief Guest of today's function, Professor Girish Choudhary, Vice Chancellor of Patna University, and a keynote speaker, again colleague from CSI, Professor G.P. Sahu, and other invited speaker, Professor S.C. Yadav, and foreign speaker, Mr. Gautam Hazari, my other colleagues from CSI and IET, because I'm holding both the hats. I've been chairman Chandigarh chapter, involved with the SIG group of e-governance. So that is why my interaction with Mr. Sahu as well as our Professor S.C. Yadav. So with that good association, we had a wonderful program at Bhubaneswar. So I recall that it was in a way well appreciated, nicely organized function, and whatever the e-governance awards which were finally selected initially at one stage at physical field visit, and then subsequently with a part of the team at Hyderabad. So that is what association in the CSA is concerned. So I definitely am a CSA and I'm hardcore man of CSA. So we'll continue to take it forward. Rather, President Naik asked me to contest the election for this year. Sorry, I'm busy in the IT as a president candidate that time. So first of all, with my coming and wearing the hat of CSA as well as IT, we will first collaborate. That is the first part it comes. And definitely IT has got more resources. We have got all centers, own buildings, a large number of people and organization. Even though I don't say CSA is bad, but definitely IT has got a better resources. But as sister organizations, so we will do a lot of collaborations together, number one. And number two, rather than my aim is very, very clear to take at least IT to the level of IEEE. I started because I'm the chairman board of research, innovation and standards also of IET for a very long time. So this year we added research groups of all the modern technologies. And we are coming out with innovative research projects, which is of scientific and innovative level, with the funding from the Government of India, for the Ministry of Electronics and IT, as well as from Department of Science and Technology. So with this kind of one we have got 9 groups we identified, which is on high technology areas, which are upcoming technologies. So these are the areas where we can push real research, innovative research in collaboration with various research organizations and universities. Like Kolkata Center is doing, Bangalore Center is doing, as well as Chennai Center is doing. Dr. Deshmukh is attached with the Chennai Center with the Dr. Venkatesh. They are doing some project together. So these other people are also like Bhopal Center, Mumbai, as well as Chandigarh Center. A lot of activity is being done from the research point of view. Similarly, Center of Excellences we are opening. One has already opened at Patna. And we are going to establish our own university at Patna, which is at a very, very advanced stage now. Ranchi, sorry, I do the correction, Ranchi. So Ranchi, the file is with the government now. So I think so, as the things are moving, we may be given LOI by end of this month. Moment the LOI is there, we will be establishing IIT University, as well as IIT has been in the education field from 1959. Most of the graduates of those time of electronics are from grade IIT. We call it graduate IIT. It was a very famous degree, and the people have done wonderfully well in the organization. People after doing their degree, did MTech and PhD program, and they're heading the various departments in the government as well as in the private sector or in the research organization. So that was the quality of degree which IIT used to give. Similarly, we had an MTech program, but because of the government constraints of it has been stopped. But definitely what Professor Choudhary said and same Professor Naik is telling, we have already infrastructure, all the infrastructure existing in IIT. There's a beauty of, we have not dismantled our infrastructure, existing infrastructure. We are still conducting exams of AMIT. We have got still committees out there. Still all the control of examining, everything is in existence. We are not abandoned it. Okay. And like the archives we created for all the lectures of AMIT, which is equivalent to BTech, are still existing. We've got an alien project ready with us. So anytime online things, we can always do it as what I mentioned, new education policy, which will be definitely again joining hand with the CSA whereas possible, because once we do the collaboration, certain part we can always request CSA to chip in with us, so that area of maybe which is their particular domain, which can be taken care of. So definitely this is a opportunity. This pandemic has given very great opportunity. Things are, we were talking about, even Prime Minister was talking digital India, startup India and all this thing. But this is the time just proven that we are now very, very relevant. Our IT fields are proving everything is possible because of we were there. We were talking, not now. We were talking in 2002, 3, 4, 5 decades. This is going to happen, and this is proven. And I remember when the Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, that time Chief Minister, visited us in the annual convention at Ahmedabad. So our topic was that time rural ICT, role of ICT in rural development. When he spoke, he was telling me these things you're going to deliberate, we have done it already. Like video conferencing at the panchayat level, and this I'm talking 2011. So this kind of a vision our country top leader has got, that everything is falling in place. You talk these days in various ministries. I happen to talk. By the way, I'm just sharing after on 26th and 27th of this month, August, we are having a very large innovation industry meet where the who of Indian defense related to the defense production are participating. We are getting around 25 invited talks and around 50 presenters. Only since time is a constraint. That is what I was very busy and doing this work, because that is directly I am responsible. So where we are taking very big role, and that is what we are trying to do, and we have been doing. IT at least has been doing, to playing a role of advisor to the government of India. They consider, they take our opinion, we put up the papers, and we are always in their policy, whether AICT is concerned or Ministry of Electronics is concerned, Department of Science and Technology is concerned, Department of Telecom is concerned. We have always the links with them. They are part of us. They come and they visit us or they invite us various whenever the functions are there. At least some role, even the TRA, definitely we do that policy framework. We do our PEX forums and we discuss that. So that is just in a broader sense I was mentioning. But definitely when we join hand, and I said so, if IET or CSA, why don't we take it to the level of IEEE, where we talk about every standard IEEE, this IEEE, every paper to be published IEEE. Why other papers are less value? The paper published in a Journal of Research or Journal Technical Review of IET or similarly in Computer Society of India journals are less value, same research, ditto research. So and we are of that stature and value. Why we are lower? Only thing we have to improve here, take it forward, put our hearts together, join us together, collaborate together, so that we can push this kind of, and especially in this, when we are in ICT now, the real sense we are working in that framework, why not we can push it and work together. And even the e-learning project, which or the e-learning university, virtual university, when we talk about, will definitely should think about, and we can work out a model. As of today, there's no model. Government has not made any model. They talked about only virtual university, but no model is made by anyone. Matter of fact, I inquired from education secretary the other day. I did talk with him. Said no. I asked him, do you want to implement in IIT? We are ready. We've got infrastructure to do it. He says, you make your model. Make that model is there with us. You will do it ourselves. So that is what I said. We are the people. We have to take it forward. Other day, the director from the National Institute of Technical Teachers Training, Chandigarh, Dr. Patnaik, he says, let us join hand. Now you're taking over the IT leadership. Let's join hand together. They are also in the same domain. He's also mentioning the same thing. Similarly, the Vice Chancellor of the Punjab Technical University, Dr. Ajay Sharma, similar sentiments. When we academicians got a similar sentiment, we have to deliver it. That's what I said, we have to deliver it. We have to come forward, join hands, may have some deliberation and conferences on these issues, decide a model, then go ahead. That is not the way ahead. So that is really move ahead. And today's the theme of the topic, data sciences and machine learning. Now it is a time when without these kind of activities, nothing can happen. Just see your banking operations. Without data science, you are zero. Similarly, your share market, the whole share market is functioning. Maximum utilization of data science is in the share market. Approximately India, 10 crore people are doing share market, and we have got all the artificial intelligence, machine learning, everything is applied, those indicators are there. So all that, my point is that it's existing, it is being used. Similarly, the repository, if you have got that kind of data, then we must exploit that data. Data is the money. Data is going to pay that kind of money. That is what we are talking about, cyber security, so that nobody can take your data. That data is very, very vital. This is like a gold mine. Must utilize as per our requirement, needs, safeguard it from the point that it is privacy is also involved. So definitely the topic and the theme is very, very relevant. Definitely today's speaker, they will definitely deliberate. They are the experts in this area. Rather, I would like to listen from them. And whenever the chance is there, we will also like to do a similar kind of an exercise in IET, or jointly we will do it anytime. So these few words, I wish all the participants all the best. And I must thank, I know Dr. Naik so well. He is the man who can really take to the new heights. When I was listening to him, rather say something I have to learn from me. He has been the president of CSI. Wonderful year he has done it. The number of conferences, events, I think so. You can't even keep a record. The kind of activities he did in that 1 year is a very golden period of CSI. And I was closely associated, following him here together. So that was wonderful work he has done. Even now he's still doing it. It's not that he has left it. He's still doing the same activities. So that is, I must thank him that he's given me opportunity to speak to the audience and to all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. So wonderful, encouraging and motivated words to all of us as well as to participants. Thank you very much. And another thing, as you have told very correctly, you are a hardcore CSIN. You are also a topmost IITN. And the IIT and the CSI, just like two sons of yours, one might be the elder son, another might be the younger son. And you are always in your heart and spirit, the growth of both the sons and the well-being and well-done of both the sons are very much also appreciated by you. And you have told rightly, it is the high time that CSI and IIT should have some joint collaboration and joint projects. And particularly, you have identified the area that is so far as the area is concerned, the rural development, where a lot of work to be done. And I think when we are talking of the inclusive growth and ICT empowerment of all the citizens under the Digital India project, so that is your vision is very clear towards the rural development where 69% of the peoples are living. And unless we can have a complete ICT education for the rural and ICT empowerment for the rural people, rural citizens, then the dream cannot be translated into the action. We cannot be able to provide the best and optimal services of the ICT to the doorsteps of each and every citizen. And I can mention before you that Subhash Yadav is here. He has initiated a very nice project at Jharkhand on behalf of the CSI, the division, that is the Division 5. He has just started a project, and I am also associated with, Honorable Vice Chancellor has been associated with, the ICT education for the tribals, and they have taken all the equipment to the all the equipment to the tribal villages and training the tribal peoples also, tribal peoples, and these kinds of works. And we want to harness these kinds of activities with IIT, and IIT definitely having the big infrastructure. CSI is also having the infrastructure. 17 of its chapter is having their own campuses also, and apart from the 3 headquarters it is having. And definitely a people like you, who is the intersected person of both the domain, IIT and CSI, and definitely will be much beneficial for the grassroots growth of both the societies, and it will be definitely visible. And I and you, and we are always together, and we are working together since so many years, and that is the very, and thank you very much for your nice words. And I always see a lot of development through your guidance and your leadership and your vision as the coming president of the IIT. Thank you once again on behalf of the Computer Society of India Patna chapter, on behalf of my group of institutions, including universities and all the institution managing committee trustees and student members, as well as the faculty members. We express our sincere gratitude and billions of thankfulness for your gracious presence here and to address the audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhakar sir. So it was a really wonderful experience hearing from you, sir. Thank you so much for your kind words, sir. So now we will proceed towards our next session, and it's a time for keynote address. And our today's keynote speaker is none other than Professor G.P. Sahu, sir. Professor G.P. Sahu is professor and former head, School of Management Studies, Motilal Nehru National Institute of Technology, Allahabad, India. He has more than 22 years of experience in teaching and research. He has completed his one-year postdoctoral fellowship program from California State University, Monterey Bay, California, US, and PhD in management from Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, India. His research interests are in the areas of MIS, e-governance, green information system, digital marketing, and many more. Professor Sahu has published around 90 research papers in international journals and conferences. He has coordinated as a few international conferences. He has edited 9 books in the area of MIS and e-governance. Professor Sahu has acted as a reviewer for many international journals. He is also a guest editor with International Journal of Electronics Governance. Professor Sahu is a chairperson of a special interest group on e-governance, Computer Society of India. He has been on a jury of the CSI Nelhant E-Governance National Award India. So with all these words, I like to welcome Professor GP Sahu sir for keynote address.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rohit. It is my extreme pleasure to interact with such a learned person available here. I'm extremely grateful to Professor Naik sir for giving me this opportunity to talk on the subject we are going to talk today. And I consider all already platform has been set by you and other speakers. Professor Prabhakar sir has already given some few use cases of machine learning and data science, and also Professor Choudhary has also given a few other cases, and then application of data science and machine learning and information technology in the area of education. Professor Naik sir, you have already established, set the platform. I have nothing more to do, but I have a structured presentation here. I'll prefer to share my slide. Hope I'm audible and my slides are visible. Someone
yes, sir, it is visible. Yes, sir.
Yeah, someone may please. Yeah, thank you very much. So I'll proceed with a very structured, although we are running late, but I'll be taking around 25 minutes.
No matter, Professor Sahu, you can take your own time. Because we are gathered here to listen and to learn.
No, thank you very much. I'm really honored with your kind words. So my presentation topic is application. My focus is going to be application. As you, from my profile, all of you know that I'm a person working in the area of management, and therefore our focus area becomes application rather than hardcore technology or talking about how various algorithms work in the area of this machine learning, data science, etc. So the presentation plan goes like this. I'll very briefly, I'll be taking around 6-7 minute time to introduce the subject, and then I'll focus on applications of data science and machine learning, and few of the government initiatives in the area of AI and machine learning. So already a platform has been set and been introduced. So these are my alma mater. I feel proud to show the pictures of where I got my education. So it is NIT Jamshedpur, then NIT Allahabad, IIT Delhi, and California State University, Monterey Bay. So these are the pictures, some of the contribution I have made. So coming to the topic, that application of data science and machine learning, few facts sheet, okay? Importance of data has already been established by Professor Choudhary, and Professor Prabhakar sir has also mentioned about that the data is becoming, Prabhakar sir has mentioned about the keyword given is gold mine. Okay, so it is a gold mine. We need to harness, we need to extract information, we need to convert the information into knowledge, wisdom, and therefore we need to pay attention, or importance need to be understood. What is the importance of data, especially the focusing in the area of, say, management. Okay, so business is our motto, and then for business, or ultimately, beneficiaries, who are going to be the beneficiary, whatever research we are doing, whatever business convenience we are bringing in, it is the society. The society development has to take place, and therefore we need to work on various areas, and this is one of the areas. I wish to share some of the facts here, that this may be older one, but I must mention that 500 hours of video every minute we are uploading, entire globe I'm talking about, that on YouTube, 500 hours of video every minute we are uploading. If you talk about spending happening on online shopping, so around $1 million USD spent, $1 million spent every minute people are spending on online shopping. And then right now also we are connected with Zoom. So Zoom has given this data that around 208,000 number of people simultaneously they are interacting. It is not that in a day they are doing. Okay, so every time whenever we count on an average, it appears to be around 2 lakh people interacting on Zoom. Okay, then Netflix, if you talk about, it is huge data involvement is there, exchange of video, exchange of data, etc. So these are the some of the facts. The point here is that why I'm mentioning the importance, why this huge data is presented before all the August gathering, all the audience who are present here, is that as a human being, if you want to analyze the data, there is a huge limitation that we can think about 100 number of data, 200 data points. Maybe somebody very intelligent can think about analyzing with manually with say 100,000 of data. Okay, but here tremendous huge volume of data is there, and therefore we need to have an automated system so that we can extract some information from the data, and then data are not structured data. Here if we are talking about big data or data science, we are not talking about structured data where the organization of the data is like various data keywords are there. So the name is stored in name, and then age, and then organization you belong to or contribution you have made, etc. It is highly unstructured data, and many of the data are not relevant. Okay, so now the topic given is data science and machine learning, whereas I consider machine learning is a subset of data science. Okay, so these artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, they are all I consider subset of data science. So I don't think that if I'm saying data science, machine learning is automatically part of it. Okay, or artificial intelligence or deep learning. So therefore, just a clarification that these are not two subjects, but one subject. It is sub part of data science. Okay, so briefly, the data science is the it's the extraction of knowledge. So here the keyword, I'll just select my highlighter. Okay, so yeah, so data science is knowledge, extraction of knowledge. Okay, here we are going one step ahead. No, it is not extraction of information, but extraction of information and then further converting information into knowledge. Okay, so that's the thing. So extraction of knowledge from data using different techniques. Okay, when we are talking about different techniques, it's a huge techniques available, algorithms. Okay, it is number of algorithms available, but they are very complex ones. So further in future subsequent slides, I'm going to show you the steps involved. So various steps involved, you'll find data cleaning is the most important step, and then consumes a lot of time. Okay, then artificial intelligence, human behavior. So machine to mimic the human behavior. So that's just setting up the platform that artificial intelligence in machine mimics the human behavior, and in case of machine learning, improves with the experience. Okay, so machine learning is a continuous process. So where the it keeps improving, the system runs automatically, and then it improves the algorithm so that better decision making or better outcome comes. Okay, and then in case of deep learning, it is multi-layered neural network. So and then all of you, majority of you know about. So multi-layer or neural network feasibility is explored, and then machine learning is further embedded with neural network, and it becomes more important or more efficient. Okay, coming to the steps involved in data science. Okay, so I probably I need to remove it. So starting with business understanding. Okay, so when you're talking about data science life cycle or any as a subject data science, it is highly interdisciplinary. Not necessarily that we need to not to confine data science as a subject of computer science. Okay, it is not, because there are many other things involved into it. Your presentation is skill, your understanding about the business problem is very important. So to this business problem. Okay, so business understanding is one of the important attributes of an individual who is practicing or practicing about a data science engineer. Okay, so when you talk about business understanding, all the business problems we are focusing on, ask relevant question and define the objective. When you're talking about business, a bank wants to know that can I increase my market share in the banking industry? So that becomes a question. And to answer this question, we need to explore data. So what are the attributes, why a person is selecting, how the person is selecting or preferring one bank over other, okay? Same is happening in case of, now there is a lot of news going on in the area of, say, election process, okay? So election process also, people are making use of data science, use of machine learning, artificial intelligence. And that's the thing that we, people as a party would like to know that what is the most important preference of the citizen while citizen goes for voting a particular party. And then in the process, they get to know. So how they get to know it is the social media, lot of data need to be collected, data need to be analyzed, and then important features of the data need to be identified. So that's the thing. Important thing is that business understanding is more important than data mining. Okay, so how do you retrieve the data? Two cases I have taken that bank would like to have higher market share, or a political party would like to win the election. So winning election need to know that what are the attributes of an individual citizen when they're going to vote, or a banker would like to know that how the customers are selecting a bank, or if they are migrating from one bank to other bank, what was the basis for migration, okay? Or the what the services were not offered and therefore migration was there, okay? Then coming to the data mining. So data mining, there are various sources of data, and then now we are talking about unstructured data. It can be video, it can be different format, textual format or graphics, anything, but we need to retrieve those and then go for next stage is data cleaning. As I mentioned in my previous set of slides, the data cleaning is the almost 70% of your time as a data engineer, data science engineer will go into this process, data cleaning, okay? So data cleaning is considered to be the most important part. So I consider data cleaning, So data cleaning is the one of the important thing here, okay? So then further data cleaning is putting all the mined data into a structure. So fix the inconsistencies. If there are certain inconsistencies are there, different sources you are retrieving data, so obvious inconsistency will be there because formats are different, and then structure, some textual structure is there, some tabular structure is there, some graphics is there, images are there, tabular format. So all those need to be combined and then retrieve the data which are relevant, which are important, okay? And then discard the other information, other things which are less important or not important, okay? Then next step, fourth step is data exploration. So data exploration is stage number one, we talked about business understanding, and then after business understanding, we have certain hypotheses. So hypothesis, two cases we have taken. Hypothesis is that people prefer to, like in case of banking, people prefer to have online interface, better online interface for banking services. So that may be a hypothesis that if a bank is providing most convenient, ease of use, usefulness is there on the interface provided for the online transaction or interaction with the bank, then it is going to be the most important attribute. So therefore, it becomes a hypothesis, and based on the data collected, this hypothesis need to be validated. Okay, so validation of hypothesis can be based on the data collected. Okay, similarly, you can think about the election case we have talked about. Okay, then feature engineering. Okay, select the important feature. Okay, once the hypothesis is done, then you are talking about the important features. Okay, we know that information related to banks, information technology uses, and then based on the uses, how the people are preparing shifting from one bank to other bank. So those features need to be identified, and then based on the feature, predictive modeling and data visualization. Predictive modeling is a continuous, here the role of machine learning comes, and then it's going to be continuous learning. Okay, so continuous learning, some algorithm is designed, and then based on those algorithm, machine learns on its own, and then keeps on improving the model of decision making. Okay, and then it is going to be predictive modeling. Okay, I'll give you one more example of predictive modeling. Then data visualization is another very, very important. Communication. So as I mentioned that it is an interdisciplinary area. Okay, so interdisciplinary area means you need to have understanding of the business, and then understanding better communication skill you need to have. Very artistic presentation have to be there. Okay, when you are talking about data visualization, one data versus other data, how plotted over a time. So how the performance of organization, banking sector is doing over a period of time. So which bank is doing better? So some lines will be there, and then easily each individual or irrespective of having knowledge of data science or not, the person will be able to visualize the data, understand the data. Okay, so therefore it's art, and that skill has to be there in a person who is doing it. Therefore, coming to the skill, it is, as I told you, that data science minimum skill requirement or the skills requirement is that mathematics, statistics, that ethical skills has to be there. Then coming to team player skill, lifelong learning skill has to be there. Communication skill plays a very, very important role, as I mentioned about that data visualization. Okay? So data visualization, then real world project skill, machine learning skill has to be there in a data science engineer. Okay, data visualization skill, then data wrangling. Okay, so data wrangling or preparation, pre-processing of the data, coding, Python, R or Naive algorithm, etc. So many things. Okay, so these are the interdisciplinary thing, and then person aspiring to become a data science engineer, it is expected that the person should be having some knowledge about all these area we have talked about. Okay, then coming to it is similar to the life cycle approach we have talked about, but business requirement, some understanding about the business requirement has to be there, and then followed by I'm trying to have the highlighter. Yeah, that's it. So business requirement, then it is a use case of, say, Amazon, how Amazon, any online shopping, how they are doing it. Okay, so business requirement is there. Business requirement is that more selling they would like to have. Okay, more selling they would like to have. So data acquisition, that user rating, based on some rating scales are there, number of stars they are selecting for a particular product, or ease of doing business with that particular companies they are having. Cart history, cart history means what are the items they are putting into their virtual cart. So based on that, some analysis is done. Okay, so and those analysis are converted into some business decisions. Okay, so business related decision to be taken. So data processing based on this data acquisition has taken place. Data processing, missing data value, fake review, etc. Some attribute may be there that that will eliminate the fake review, or will get to know the fake review, like ranging of the data, or data you block that the star rating should range from 1 to 5, or comments related to some cosmetic cream is there, cosmetic items are there, and then person is putting some information about some electronic items. So that those reviews are fake review, and then those can be eliminated. Then coming to data exploration, understand the data, and then data visualization, etc. Then comes the role of machine learning. So modeling is done, and then a model is prepared, and then model is optimized over a period of time. So model testing based on the some sample data or training data, etc. And then over a period of time, the model is trained, and then it becomes a foolproof system. Okay. So these are the machine learning steps involved. That some data is collected, data is some train the machine learning algorithm, and then model is prepared. After model, some multiple iteration goes into it in machine learning algorithm, and then if required, new input will come into the system, and then prediction will go, and then if good prediction, it will be used for the business. If not good prediction, it has to go to the system again, and then multiple number of iteration will take place. Okay. So here, recommendation system. Okay, so recommendation system is one of the very, very important thing in case of business environment. So if I'm going to a store and then purchasing milk, okay, so milk purchase, and then I have a list of items to be purchased in which milk is there, but store people, they organize in such a way that if I have missed out something, or if I want to buy some more item, they will try to link or organize the store in such a way that item linked with the item you are purchasing. So if you are purchasing milk, it may be possible that you are going to purchase tea, coffee, sugar, fruits, etc. So therefore, this organization of store is like that. Okay, so that's an important thing. And think about, for single information, you're organizing in this way. You talk about lakhs or crores of items sold on online system. So how recommendation system, manual recommendation systems are not going to help, and therefore some algorithm, automatic system has to be there. I wish to place a very unique case of USA, where the store was organizing. Over a period of time, store learned that the person who is coming to buy beer, okay, so on the store, beer is stacked, and then people buying beer, okay, they linked that person who is buying beer is a young person, and then most likely that the person is having kids at their home, and therefore diapers and then beer bottles were kept together. Okay, person coming to pick up beer will also have a look at, okay, diapers are also here, and then reminded that, okay, I may be requiring diaper for my kids. Okay, so they used to buy, and it was a successful story. Okay, successful case. Okay, it is not a story, real thing happened in one of the store. I'm not naming purposefully. I'm not naming the store name here, but it was practiced over there, and then it was found. So therefore, how the system learns, okay, so product detail is captured, that when we are doing online shopping, these are all use cases, okay, recommendation system. When you are doing some online shopping, so what information goes? So product detail is captured, then customer detail is captured, means how frequently the customer is buying, what is the buying capacity, etc. Then customer search detail, that what is the search history of the customer, transaction detail, tracking detail, and there are many other details captured. Okay, and then these details are processed, and then based on the processing, some recommendation is prepared similar to this. That customer who bought this item, means milk, will also be interested in that. That's what we see whenever we go for online shopping. So similar kind of recommendation system we always used to see. Okay, so I'm skipping this. Again, it's a repetition that some important data is captured, data cleaning happens, and then build model, test model, then training, and then improvement of the model. Okay, so it's a continuous improvement. It is not that one-time improvement taking place in the system. It is continuously, improve efficiency of the system over a period of time. Of course, training model will be there, and after training model, if it is successful, test model will be there, and after test model is going to be continuous. Few more example cases, use cases of this machine learning data science applications. So genomic, okay, nowadays we are talking about vaccination, medicine, COVID. So genomics data, here also we have very important role of machine learning in case if you would like to understand the genetic issues of a particular disease or particular how the pattern is, or how modification taking place in the various genes of the viruses, etc. So those things. Okay, another application is FedEx example is given here. We started learning about I'm talking about 25 years back. At that time also moving salesman problem was there. So moving salesman problem, a salesman has to decide that which are the city, most shortest route to be traveled by, to various city to be decided. Okay, so that is still in practice, and then predictive, that customer based, or airlines has to decide that in advance the airlines has to provide with the customer that these planes are going to be cancelled, etc. So these are the these person's name is very, very important. Alan Turing the invention of this thing happened. Okay, so artificial intelligence, deep learning, machine learning, etc. Okay. Then coming to the various other cases or other applications, I need to be further go very quickly. That data-driven innovation lab. Okay, so here it is in Singapore, and they are doing wonderful work. Okay, so artificial intelligence is applied in case of predicting how long this COVID is going to be there in a particular country, and then this is a older data, but it has its importance. Okay, based on some artificial intelligence or machine learning tools applied, this data-driven innovation lab of Singapore, they predicted that what is going to be the behavior of the COVID or infection will last for how many years, how long it will go at a stiff curve, and then decline will happen. So here also you can see some data was predicted for India as well, although it is an old case, but I consider they are relevant. Predictive monitoring of COVID-19. So a lot of there are all across the globe, people were making use of extensive use of artificial intelligence, machine learning for predicting the behavior pattern of the COVID. Okay, and then there were many successful cases as well. Okay, yeah, in the time of coronavirus diagnosis, analysis, prediction, it played an important role. Okay, then the few other examples like GST is a new thing in India. Okay, so goods and service tax fraud is happening. Still fraud is happening now. No more we are talking about that inspection or inspector visiting a particular store to identify what are the frauds happening. All data that you submit based on some algorithm at the back end going on, government gets to know that, okay, it is not a genuine submission of the GST amount, some calculation. Okay. So based on the product, based on the location of the store, and then other competitors are there, how much they are submitting, how much the person has submitted. So many factors are considered into it, and then based on that, highlighted or identified red flag cases are there, which are considered to be, possibly the person is making fraud, and then further analysis of data reveals that, okay, it was a case of fraud. Okay, so this is happening. The algorithm is no more. All these inspectors are replaced with a particular system, and then system is taking care of it. This is another example, although it may not look nice to present here, but okay, so Shally. Okay, so in Europe, it is very important. Talk to Shally. Okay, so talk to Shally is something that adult content you was to talk to that on a particular telephone number. This telephone number is also mentioned. It was an advertisement. So I took this. So this telephone number, if you dial this number, you'll feel that as if you're talking to a lady. Okay, and then some welcoming or very warm welcome things will be there. Okay, but actually at the back end you'll find there is a robot. Okay, so it is not a lady human being talking to you. It's a robot. Okay, over a period of time they trained that how much how much content to be presented, what kind of discussion to go on, and this is a very popular case of robot bots being used by this Talk to Shally company, and at the back end, it is not a human being you're talking, no person is talking to. So some AI uses in sports, that Hawkeye, then various training modules, etc. Then face recognition system. Yeah, over a period of time, it keeps on improving. Can you put yourself on mute, sir? Naik, sir.
Hello?
Naik, sir, you are not on mute, so may I request you to be on mute?
I'm unmuted, yes.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm requesting you to be on mute, sir. You're talking to someone, so therefore I just request.
Oh, sorry. Then I'm sorry.
Okay, so I need to be very quick further. That face recognition system, there is use of AI, machine learning, then continuously it goes on improving. there are deep mind, those who are interested or conducting research in the area of AI, ML. So it is one of the important recommendation I wish to make you, that deep mind. What if solving one problem could unlock solution to the 1,000 more? Okay. So this keyword, this statement itself is very, very important, that that if you are able to solve one problem, and then in the process of solving one problem, you train the machine to how are we applying our mind to solve this problem, and then machine learns it, and then model is done. Okay, and then machine itself will keep providing solution to the thousands of problem or many more solutions within no time. So that's an advantage, that human being is going to take much time in analysis, calculation, etc. But here the advantage is that it is all automated. Okay, so therefore artificial intelligence in everywhere, manufacturing, smart assistants, etc. are taking place. So I'll skip these cases, but few other important case I wish to present before you, that one of the robo readers. Okay, so robo reader or grading system. Now, as a teacher, many of us are participating in this event. Our teacher, I especially, I find it difficult to evaluate the written response sheet. Okay, so handwritten response sheet is very, very difficult reading all those garbage content that students are putting into the response sheet. But here there is a use of robo readers, and robo readers over a period of time trained well, and then now it is being used by GRE, graduate record examination, where the robo readers are evaluating the comprehensive examination of the response rate. Okay, so Google Smart Map is another example. Siri, you know about. Then Amazon Alexa is very, very important. Now Alexa is smart enough that Alexa asks us that, would you like to place order for this item? Suppose if you buy a printer and then printer comes with a cartridge, over a period of 1 month, Alexa assumes that, okay, you might have exhausted with the cartridge, and replacement of cartridge may be required. So that way, Tesla is also applying a lot of machine learning things into their car, and then therefore it is becoming one of the USP for them. Okay, then Cogito is another example. Smart home or cognitive empathy. I wish to spend 1 minute time here. Cognitive empathy is very, very important thing. Like I'll place before you that the things where the human beings are finding difficulty, like 2 examples I'm putting before you is, one is that hotel representative, front desk worker in a hotel, and other is a nurse working in a ICU. They all the time need to empathize with the person attending the patient. Okay, all the time they have to show the sorrow, the empathy has to be there. Okay, I'm very sad about the things happening with you. Your patient is not doing well, etc. All the time the person has to artificially behave like that they are not happy. And here in other case, hotel representative, front desk, they have to always put a big smile on their face, and all the time they should keep smiling and then respond very, very in an empathetic, and that over a period of time, if you are not happy and you behave like a happy person, it's a mismatch, and therefore over a period of time, if you keep practicing that, it is going to be a difficult thing. Some disease, etc. are generated. But if you put a human being there, a machine there, machine replicating the cognitive empathy will not be a difficulty. Okay? So therefore, another example here, that the call centers. Okay, when you make a phone call to call center, you may not be happy person, and then the call center, you start shouting on the call center, your company is not doing, I'm not able to make use of this particular software application, or phone is not working. So many things you say, and then the call center representative has to listen to it, and then switching takes place. Some person is very happy customer, empathy has to be warm welcome, and then empathize that, okay, you are happy, we are glad, etc. And then all of a sudden you receive another call, and then bounce burdened with the various unhappy situations. So behavior has to be changed, and therefore there is a use of artificial intelligence, and robots are being used in all call centers. Okay, so they are going to be very, very useful, and then it is good for human being as well. Okay, So that's an example that the robots are being used for the call centers, okay, and they're more effective compared to human being, okay. So because consistent behavior is there. Okay? So I'll skip further a few more slides, and then Netflix, etc. Netflix is another good example that Netflix, if you are a user of Netflix, immediately once you subscribe for Netflix, they extract information from other sources and they start presenting the movie of your liking. Okay, so movie or content of your liking, and then in future also they go on producing the content which are liked by majority of the people, because they are the customers. Okay, so you need to serve to the majority of the people, and then content development also takes place in such a way that they are generating more revenue. Okay, so Pandora we know about, and Google Nest is house. Okay, and then this is another Sophia. The robot started teaching into classroom, and then robot recognizes that, okay, so based on their facial expression, robot recognizes that the student is able to understand or not understand, so those things are there. So it's a human-like behavior the robot or Sophia is doing, and that's one of the school I know in Bangalore, they have already introduced this Sophia humanoid for the school teaching. The humanoids are teaching the school kids. Okay? So then Path AI, that some artificial intelligence or machine learning is used in imaging. Okay, so image processing, or especially focusing on the pathology related image, or some diagnosis has to be there. Chest X-ray is there. We need to recognize whether it is a COVID or not. So if a human being is doing, so human beings experience counts a lot. But if a machine is doing, machine can be replicated many times, and then all the laboratories can have the same kind of machine, and then standardization will be there. Okay, so these are the another important things. And then Facebook, etc., Twitter. Government is focusing on artificial intelligence. National Artificial Intelligence Mission is also there. Of course, AI and machine learning are combined together. So various 9 number of sectors are identified where government and NITI Aayog is implementing the artificial intelligence, healthcare, agriculture, education, smart and cities and infrastructure, etc. So government initiatives, these are the various agriculture. They just take a picture of agriculture produce taking place, or crop content index, etc. And based on that, this linked with the various subsidies, various, they can also predict how much production is going to be there in this particular area, or can link with the weather forecast, etc. So crop selection, crop monitoring can be easily done with the help of artificial intelligence, machine learning, healthcare, lot of application, education, lot of application, national security doing a lot, big application, big uses of artificial intelligence, machine learning. Okay. So national programs on various programs are also there by Government of India. It's an opportunity for us to conduct research in the area of artificial intelligence, advancing healthcare across India. So this is then an India joining hand together for the research, and this is one open call for proposals. Those who are interested may consider it. And strategy is already formulated by Government of India, National Strategy for AI. So AI for all kind of tag is there. So I'll further skipping this, and then I'm coming to add. So we are already talked about what is artificial, what is data science, importance of data science, but difficulty or life cycle. Then we talked about use cases. I have taken the use case of Amazon, the Netflix, etc. We talked about, and coming to end, artificial intelligence can be of various category, that narrow, general, superb, etc. And then robot movie, all of us, many of us have seen that. We have seen how the robots are, replication takes place. Okay, so replication, machine, if you train a machine, if you educate a machine can be replicated very, very quickly. Okay, so in robot we have seen. Okay, so these are some of the resources I have taken. I'm sorry that I've taken 7 extra minutes, but I'm coming to end. Thank you very much for providing me this opportunity. I'm extremely thankful to the organizer, the institution, the CSI, Computer Society of India, and special thanks to Professor Naik. Over to you, sir. Thank you very much. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to take up.
So I request the participants, if you are having any questions, any issues, you can just type it in the chat box. We will take 1 or 2 questions. So students, if you are having any type of questions, participants.
I recommend we can have, no, after the second session also we can have question. I'm still available.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Yeah, just to save time, we can request.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sauji. Thank you very much, Professor Sahu, for your excellent deliberation, and particularly the applications of the data science and machine learning, and the varieties of applications that you have cited with example that were tremendous. And I think it has been most beneficial for the participant who have connected. Thank you once again on behalf of the Institute, on behalf of the faculties and the students of the Institute. We express our sincere thankfulness and gratitude for your gracious presence and presentation of this excellent keynote address. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. And now we will proceed towards our next session, and it's a time for invited speakers address. And our today's invited speaker is Professor Dr. Subhash Chandra Yadav, sir. Professor Subhash Chandra Yadav is the professor and head Department of Computer Science and Technology, Central University of Jharkhand, Ranchi. He is having more than 23 years of experience in industry and academia, with education qualification as PhD, MPhil, MTech, MCA, MSc, MBA in HR and IT, and many more. His key areas of interest is cybersecurity, network computing, database, cloud computing, soft computing. At present, he is the chairman, Division 5, Education and Research of Computer Society of India, and former national president of ICT section of Indian Science Congress Association. He has also authored and published 4 books, 5 book chapters, and 26 research papers. So with these words, I'd like to welcome Professor Dr. Subhash Chandra Yadav, sir, for invited speakers address.
Thank you, Rohit, for brief introduction. A very good morning to all of you, and Johar. Really, it's a proud privilege to be participate in this auspicious one-day webinar on very relevant and burning topic, data science and machine learning, that is being organized by Indian Institute of Business Management with technical collaboration of Computer Society of India, particularly Patna chapter. I would like to convey my sincere thanks to Professor Girish Kr, Choudhary ji, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Patna University. Guest of Honor P. Prabhakar ji, President-elect IETE. Program Chair, Professor A.K. Naik. Really the man of webinar, deeply involved in knowledge dissemination in the society. Naik sir has almost devoted more than 40 years of his career serving in Computer Society by holding various positions in Computer Society of India and another government apex bodies. And he has represented the country at various international forums. It's a really proud matter of proud privilege for me to be one of the speakers. Thank you, sir, for inviting me.
Thank you very much, Subhash. Thank you. God bless you.
Today's keynote speaker, Professor T.P. Sahu, School of Management Studies, Motilal Nehru, NIT, who has elaborated data sciences and machine learning in a splendid way. Thank you, sir, for your deliberation. And the foreign speaker, my friend, Mr. Gautam Hazari, at present, he is serving as a technical director, GSM Association, London, UK. A very young and dynamic administrator. As well as I found him a very good researcher in the field of computer science and its related technologies. Professor Deshmukh ji, professor and former head Department of Computer Science and IT, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, as my CSI colleague as well. Professor Ganesh Pandey ji, Director IIBM and his team, and another dignitaries, academicians, and industries present in this virtual mode. Dear participants and students, definitely we are living in the technology-dominated era. The technology-dominated machine era. I will briefly focus on some basics of the data science and machine learning. Whether Rohit, you have given the permission to share the slide? Yes, is it? Yes, data science and machine learning. I think the way Sahu sir has explained, there's no scope to continue that. And I'm more enthusiastic to listen Gautam Hazari from UK because he is deeply involved in the research in machine learning and data sciences. But a little bit, I will just briefly introduce what is the data science. It's nothing but it's a combination of scientific methods, particularly the methods which we import from the mathematical background and from the statistical background. And with the specialized programming and whatever the advancements are there in analytics parts, and whatever the advancements are coming from artificial intelligence, even sorting to uncover and explain the business insight buried in the data. The Saucer has already covered a lot of things from the business insights. So, dear friends, one of the pictorial representation is displayed on the scene. There are three coordinates. One is substantive expertise from the market, statistics, hacking, and the coding. And several domains are there, and the overlapping of these with data engineering, with the traditional research, with the machine learning. Here comes the data science. Number of attributes, features are associated with each and every domain. Like if you talk about the substantive expertise, it means understand the customers, define metrics that matters, translate for non-technical audience. If we will talk about the statistics domain, statistical packages, advanced mathematics, experimental design, model fitting. And third domain, hacking and coding. Constraints, whether it's privacy, there's a legal issue, get the right data, provide the right data to the right people. Data preparations, data propagation, and the data management at the part of the government, at the part of the individual. And what is the SQL involved in the business is there. In these three overlappings, here comes the data science. It means analyst is there and data scientist is there. What's the role of analyst? He's the good business administrator, and he's the good exploratory data analysis. And there is one common attribute between analyst and data scientist, where the data scientists come up with exploratory data analysis, machine learning and advanced algorithm, data product engineering. So here's one of the overlapping part. In much more detail, typical job duties of data scientist, there is not a definitive job descriptions when it's come to the data scientist role, but here are a few things you will likely to be doing. Number one, collecting large amount of unruly data and transforming it into more usable format. I remember one of the slides shown by friends, Professor Sahuji, how much data is traveling on this cyberspace on the internet, and how much data is secure. As per the study, 3 to 5% data is traveling secure and safe on this. In 1 minute, trillion of data is floating on the cyber net. Solving business-related problems using data-driven technologies. Working with variety of programming languages, including SAS, R, and Python, which are most frequently used for machine learning. Nowadays, most of the researchers are using Python and R, having a solid grasp of statistics, including statistical tests and distributions. Staying on top of analytical techniques such as machine learning, deep learning, and text analytics related with the data. Communicating and collaborating with IT and its related businesses. Looking for order and pattern in data. As Professor Naik sir has already told, what are the methodologies, what are the IIBMs, what is the DBMS was behind to store the data, because huge amount of data is floating on the net. It means what will be the pattern to store the data, as well as spotting trends that can help a business bottom line. I would like to quote one of the example here. You people are frequently using YouTube and Google. Just remember one thing. After having 10 to 12 search or having 5 search on YouTube and Google, next time you will get the advertisement related with your search. How it is happening? Yes, data science is there. Some analytics is involved there. Some business analytics is involved there regarding your search, regarding your choice. The YouTube and these another search engines, they are providing you the smart way about your like, dislike, what you like to search, most frequently on which topic you have searched. So I have briefly explained a few of the jobs related with data scientists. And one another questions, what are the, if you are the good data scientist, and how you will enrich your knowledge. There are some libraries related with Python. I will just quote their names: NumPy, Learn, Pandas. Most frequently, these are the research scholars, our MTech students are using these libraries. And I have briefly written about few lines about them. These libraries are Matplotlib, TensorFlow, Keras. They are used for different purposes and different in applications. Apart from these libraries related with Python, there are some tools as well available. Jupyter, Co, Crystal. These are tools. They are open source softwares. The link I have already mentioned below. You can copy that. You can download those tools and you can learn, and you can use the libraries data set using this Python, and you can have the artificial intelligence enabled machine learning programming using these tools. This was a little bit about data science, and due to scarcity of time, I will just briefly summarize the machine learning, its history. As the name machine learning, it was first coined in the year 1959 by Arthur Samuelton and Michels, provide a widely quoted, more formally definition of the algorithms studied in the machine learning field. Computer program is said to learn from experiences E with respect to some class of task T and performance measures P. If its performance at a task in T as measured by P means improve with experience E. Means machine is learning, machine is itself experiencing. Machine is such program, machine is programmed in such a way based on the assigned task, based on his own performance, he will able to learn. I will would like to quote one of the example here. One of the spacecraft has been sent 10 years back by the America, Opportunities and Rovers. What was there? It was 6-wheel robot, just like a car. It has taken 8 years to reach the Mars. Once he reached the Mars, while the landing, one of the leg stick in the dick. What has happened? Whole the NASA team was astonished. Oh, $1 million project is now to be inked. But it was not there. The machine learning, the artificial intelligence programming capabilities was embedded with the system, the software and the server installed in the legs and the cameras of that robot. He has started taking the pics of own self. He has started doing the programming. Ultimately, he finds one of the leg is bent, and he programmed himself. And due to that program, he has completely null and void that leg and shifted the movement of the robot on only 5 legs, and is able to evacuate from that. It was the real story, and it was the example of machine learning. How the machine learns, how the machine learns from the own experience and the task given to him. And moreover, he's able to embed that improvement. And dear friends, Alan Turing proposal in this paper, Computing Machinery Intelligence, in which the quotations "can machine think" is replaced by the quotation "can machine do what we can do" as thinking entity. Yes, it has happened nowadays. It's not a matter of stories. It is happening nowadays. History of machine learning, briefly, the story has started from early 1640. I have written all the key points over there from late 1640 to now in 2000. Adaptive programming is there. I have quoted the example of the opportunity reservoirs, and these are the developments. First, storage data, Boolean logic, mechanical system for statistical calculations, Turing test, first computer learning program, the perceptions, the pattern recognition, the Stanford card, explanation-based learning, machine learning applications, finally, adaptive programming, the era we are living in. In continuation, the machine learning is the branch of artificial concerned develop of algorithms that allows computers to evolve behavior based on an empirical data. As intelligence requires knowledge, it is necessary for the computers to acquire knowledge. And machine learning refers to a system capable of the autonomous acquisition and integration of that knowledge to take decisions, to helpful in taking the decisions own self. This is the machine learning era. Then a question arises, why machine learning? No human expertise is needed, whether in manufacturing control, industrial control, mass spectrometer analysis, drug design, astronomic discovery, and more of the areas Professor Sau has already covered. And black box human expertise, face recognition, facial recognition, identifying the face, retina, tuples, handwriting, speech recognition, driving a car without a driver, flying a plane without a pilot. It's a need of time. So far we are moving towards the machine learning era. And even with rapidly changing phenomenon, means credit scoring, financial modeling, diagnosis, fraud detection in the cyber security, cyber crimes, because nowadays 200% the cases have been increased in itself, Maharashtra. If we talk about overall increase in cyber crime, it is 63.5 in respect to the last year. How to get early detection based on the database? A need for customization, personalization, personalized news readers, movie, book recommendations, and many more, many more. And briefly, I have depicted a model that is based on testing and training. Input samples, the system will work, and it will learning method will be there. And this training and testing is the backbone for the machine learning. First of all, training. It is the process of making the system able to learn. No free lunch rule is there, for that. Training set and testing sets come from the same distribution. Need to make some assumptions or bins as depicted in the picture. And once the data is acquired, acquisited, as a practical uses, universal data set, then how to segregate that? This is observed, unobserved, training set, and this testing sets. And what will the performance, how the performance will get measured? There are several factors affecting the performance this machine learning. Number one, types of training provided. The form and extent of any initial background knowledge provided. The type of feedback provided. The learning algorithms used for that. On these factors, the performance of the ML depends entirely. Another important factors are directly influencing the performance. It's a modeling and it's a proper optimization. One another we are discussing about the algorithms because the backbone for the machine learning. The success of any machine learning system always depends on the algorithms and control the search to find and build the knowledge structure. And also helpful to learning algorithms should extract useful information from the training examples. And this slide displays type of algorithms which is nowadays frequently used in machine learning, and most of the researchers who are using these algorithms widely classified in 3 categories: supervised learning based algorithms, unsupervised learning based algorithms, semi-supervised, and one more is reinforcement learning. There's 4 types of algorithms. Means supervised learning is based on prediction, classification, discrete labeling, and regression of the real value available data set available. Whereas unsupervised learning algorithms is based on the clustering, probability distribution estimation, finding association in features, dimension reductions. Third one is semi-supervised learning, reinforcement learning, means decision making, the base for the robots and chess machine. These algorithms are frequently used in robotics. This is a pictorial representation about the supervised learning and unsupervised learning, semi-supervised learning. What is the structure is there behind the supervised learning? It can be depicted from the picture, training documents, features vector, this machine learning algorithm, labels, new text images in the features vector and the predictive method, then expected label is there. And what is there in unsupervised learning? There is one basic difference. These labels is another midway, and unsupervised learning is there. And about the applications of the machine learning and data scientists has been covered by the Professor Choudhary in detail, but briefly I will summarize. It's frequently used in face detection. One of my friend in IIT Kanpur, Professor Fagli Gupta ji, he has one of the project related with facial recognition, how to store million of the data in the database to search the terrorist, because Chicago and Heathrow, almost many of the US airports are too much busy. They are deploying a security system on the airport. They can identify the people who has the black history. How to store facial data? They are working on that with Oracle. The number of examples are there related with applications of machine learning and object detection and recognition. Another aspect, very recently, India has launched a missile based on that. Our satellite is based on machine learning and artificial intelligence. Recently, 1 week earlier, PSLV, I exactly didn't remember the name, to detect the objects from the space on the Earth. And image segmentation, number of research is going on that. Multimedia event detections, economical and commercial use of the machine learning. And apart from this, there are a number of applications there in every field of our human life. As my concluding remark, I will say we have a simple overview of some techniques and algorithms in machine learning. Further, there are more and more techniques be applied in machine learning as a solution. In future, machine learning will be play an important role definitely and influence our daily life. With these few words, I pay my gratitude to Professor Naik sir and the entire group IIBM for inviting me for deliberation of this talk in this auspicious webinar on data science and machine learning. Thank you to all. Over to you, Rohit.
Thank you, Subhash. Thank you very much for a very wonderful presentation, and that is very nice for the student group.
Actually, sir, I have summarized quickly because I'm also enthusiastic to listen Gautam sir from UK, as he has a lot of work on this machine learning.
He did a lot of work. Okay, so thank you very much once again on behalf of the institutes and the part of the faculties and student members. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Now to Rohit.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Subhash Chandra Yadav, sir. And now we will proceed towards our next session. And it's a time for address from the foreign speaker. And our today's foreign speaker is Mr. Gautam Hazare. Mr. Gautam Hazare is the technical director at GSM Association and based in London. He works with the mobile operators around the world on mobile identity, 5G security, cyber security, privacy, blockchain, and also with the extended industry standards and regulatory bodies. Mr. Gautam has been working in the telecom industry for the last 20 years on the various domains, including identity, IoT, charging and payments, security, and other areas, and holds the patents on identity and access control. He's a blockchain enthusiast, a thought leader working with industry players, and speaks on making the digital world a safer place on various platforms around the world. So with these words, I'd like to welcome Mr. Gautam Hazare, sir, for foreign speakers address.
Gautam,
thank you.
Welcome to you. Thank you very much. But prior to that, let me welcome one of the dignitaries who is present here, Dr. Anupam, the principal of the Sri Aurobindo Institute of Technology. Anupam, you are connected here. Anupam? Perhaps he had been...
Earlier he was connected, sir.
He had been there.
Actually, he is connected, but I think...
principal of this... he perhaps left. He is the direct principal of the Sri Aurobindo Institute of Technology, Indore. He had been there since he was hearing Subhash. I don't know, he might have some work. Thank you, Gautam ji. Thank you very much. Welcome to IIBM Patna once again. And you are one of the major contributors to our endeavor when we are organizing so many webinars for upliftment of the student community, particularly igniting the brains of the youth professionals as well as the students for updating their knowledge, for developing their knowledge also in the various latest technology. Thank you. Welcome to you, Mr. Gautam. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Professor Naik, for inviting me and for those nice words. And thanks a lot, everyone, for that. So I know we are pretty short in time, so I'll jump straight into my presentation. Can I share my screen, please? Okay, my screen is visible. If someone can give a nod, please. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, visible, Dada. Visible.
Yes,
okay,
sir,
okay.
Completely visible, sir. Completely visible.
Thank you. Thanks. Thanks a lot. I'm actually outside my house, so I have got a bad connection. Sorry about that. I am a practitioner of machine learning, so I have been listening to Professor Sahu. Some brilliant examples were given there, and also Subhashji was talking about the overall process of machine learning. So I practice many of the the machine learning paradigms which have been talked about, and there are certain areas where I am focusing. I'm spending a lot of time along with everything else. First of all, there's a terminology overlap that I feel there. So I know we talk about machine learning as a subset within artificial intelligence. I prefer to use the word augmented intelligence than artificial intelligence, because otherwise we do a fragmentation and segregation between natural intelligence and artificial intelligence, because I believe that it's a partnership between machines and humans. So AI basically augment the natural intelligence, and machine learning is part of that. I'll start with the Gartner hype cycle. So Gartner hype cycle basically, that's a snapshot of what's coming next, which technology is in which state, and that's highly valuable within the tech industry. And this is from last year. You can see here that more than 10, so more than around 34% of the emerging technologies currently on various stages. Some are in a earlier technological evolution stage. Some are in an advanced stage. Some have gone through the high peak. But more than 34% of those emerging technologies are related to artificial intelligence and machine learning. That shows the potential and also the amount of work that's going on. So it's actually, some of the work are beyond just what we are seeing now. And then Gartner zooms into some of the specifics, like, for example, we are talking about AI and machine learning. So this is the hype cycle from last year for AI itself. And here's some of the things that you see. So today we are talking about machine learning. And we heard about some of the deep learning and deep neural networks as well. So you can see from this Gartner hype cycle that they're almost reaching maturity. Actually, this is probably a bit of a conservative graph. Machine learning, what I have seen in practice, has actually reached much more than reaching the maturity. It is already mature, and there are lots and lots of applications that are already there in our daily life. Subhashji talked about the history of machine learning. So it's actually a bit of a dichotomy. Machine learning and learning machines, they are two terms used hand in hand. So machine learning was coined by Arthur Samuel from IIBM. Actually, he was coding a checkers program, and he was doing it in a way that it learns itself. And then he coined the term machine learning. This is a bit of, I have actually gone through all the papers which are referred to be written by Arthur Samuel, where the machine learning was defined as it is quoted many times. Actually, those papers don't really refer to machine learning, although he is attributed to be coining the term machine learning. On the other hand, almost a decade before that, Alan Turing, who actually was born not far from where I live, it's around 30 minutes drive from where I live. So he coined the term learning machines. The concept was very similar. He dreamt of a machine which can learn on its own. And that actually defines what we are talking about. So at a very, very simple level, traditional programming, traditional coding is where we define or write the rules. Then we pass some data so that those rules can decide what to do with that data, and it will come up with some outcome. In a machine learning model, it's the other way around. We don't create any rule. We provide a data or huge amount of data, structured or unstructured, and then the machine learns and creates the rules on its own. So that actually, creates a completely different paradigm for how do we actually code, and that has got impact on almost everyone. Everyone who is learning in the IT space as well. We talked about, so Professor Sahu and also Subhasji talked about many of the applications. So these are some of the disruptive, startups, or maybe more than startups there now, which I picked on to indicate how they are actually impacting our daily lives already. And I'm personally involved with many of these that I picked here. So I will start with Harvard Talent Pitch. So there is a startup who are using machine learning to disrupt the, the hiring industry. So the hiring industry is very traditional still. You create your CV, you send your CV either in a digital form or in a paper form. Then someone will go through the CV. They will pick some keywords, and then based on that, they will forward to the next level and so on. Then you go through an interview. But then that's not very optimized. It takes time and it's very expensive, actually. I am involved in hiring in my team, and I know it's very expensive. It's frustrating. And, I need a resource tomorrow, but I'll have to wait for example, a month, sometimes 2 months to hire someone. So what Harvard does is they don't have humans going through CV. They don't even care about CV. So they have got a mechanism where a machine learning algorithm actually presents some scenarios, which are real life scenarios for the organization for which they are hiring. And then the participant or the applicant needs to actually solve that scenarios, and they are all dynamically generated by the machine learning system. And within hours, someone is either selected, and sometimes what happens is, if someone is applying for a particular role, so the talent pitch system will actually identify through the machine learning model that this particular participant can be good for some other role, which the participant has not even applied for. Logics is another one. If you're involved in any of the legal contract from an organization, it's again very, very frustrating. Very recently, I was working with one of the university here, Warwick University, who are doing great work in machine learning, and also with the UK government we're working. And then the project got delayed for 6 months purely due to contract exchange, because the lawyers from all the parties, they were sending red lines, they were viewing it, they were not understanding, and so on. So what logics are doing, they don't have really lawyers. Okay, so there's a machine learning model. What it does is it goes through the contract, and then you need to feed into your policies, and within few seconds it actually creates a red line contract so that you can actually extend it. So from few months, it is reduced to few seconds, saving time, cost, and also improving efficiency. CrowdStrike is one of the other disruptors in this market, who are actually doing some great work within the cybersecurity world. So what they're doing is they're an endpoint security service provider. So they're using machine learning to identify any of the traditional attacks on an endpoint. But again, this is not based on someone has created some static rules. It is based on its learning every now and then. Mabel is an interesting one. So they are trying to disrupt the software testing industry. because software testing is another, it could be frustrating because you may allocate in a project certain amount of duration for software testing, but it never fulfills. It always exceeds the time that you are actually, or you compromise on quality. So Mabel, what they're doing is they don't have real testers, so they have a machine learning model where you pass through your software code and it can actually immediately come back with the result of the testing. Another one I'll mention, Editor G, which is actually from India. So Editor G was initiated, I think, in 2018 by Vikram Chandra from NDTV. So the idea basically was, instead of a human curating the editorials, especially for video editorials, there's a machine learning model that uses NLP, natural language processing, to identify how the video should be prioritized and which video should be, going forward. So you can see, and then the other one which I'm very closely related with is Babylon. It's from UK. So it's actually an AI or machine learning based doctor. So it sits on your mobile phone, and then you can actually interact with it. So instead of a real GP or a general practitioner, you can actually interact with the machine learning model as a doctor, and it will do the exact same consultation as it does with, as you do with a general practitioner. Actually, it can go even more. I mean, sometimes we think that some of the creative things like writing a song, or writing a poetry, or maybe programming a song, or composing a song, these are the things probably humans can do better. But we are almost getting there. So, the next book of Harry Potter. So the Harry Potter and the portrait of what looked like a large pile of ash, that's one of the chapter of that is actually written by a machine learning algorithm. So machine learning is getting there into those creative worlds. So Alex the Kid is a Grammy nominee singer, and he used a machine learning model alongside IBM research to not only write a song, but to compose it as well. And it was one of the biggest hits 1 or 2 years back. Oral-B is using machine learning on its toothbrushes. I used to have one few years back where it learns your brushing pattern, and there are sensors there as well. So it learns where you should be brushing more, and then it adjusts itself. Symrise is one of the German perfume companies. They're using IBM research to use a machine learning model to understand which combination of chemicals can make perfumes better. RoboBee is an artificial bee, actually. So it's a machine learning driven artificial bee, which are now used in Europe for pollination of fields. Beauty.ai, which is a bit controversial, actually. So this is a beauty contest, which is judged by a machine learning model. But actually, the reason it is controversial is it actually shows the problems that we should be aware of within the machine learning, because Beauty.ai model was a biased model, because the data it was trained with was mostly white-skinned beauty pageants. So it learned that white-skinned beauty pageants were actually were more beautiful than the others, and then the judgment that it was giving was based on that. So that is something that we should be aware of, that the data that you are training your model with is extremely important. So if you're training with biased data, your result will be biased as well. The last one is emotional temperature. That's very close to my heart because I'm involved in some of the initiatives. So to give an example is, we use Facebook on a daily basis, right? For various things. Behind the scene, Facebook is actually checking what we call emotional temperature. So it actually tries to see from the post, from the images you're adding in, from your own images as well, to understand that is there a risk of the person who has the profile, who has the Facebook profile, to do some self-harm. So some time back, Facebook used the emotional temperature model to stop someone to do suicide, because the AI threshold picked up that the person, or this was a girl actually, will commit suicide in X amount of days. So the social service guys rushed there and then rescued. And I know that they have actually rescued many such persons since then, although this is very sensitive data, so the public data is not really available. One of the things I'll quickly touch on is, we have heard about data a lot, and it's about data science as well. But we have seen that machine learning and AI, they got more prominence, and all the advancement happened very recently. Actually, from 2012 onwards, we have seen all the practical applications. But why is that? Within machine learning, one of the most, I would say, most relevant theorem is Bayes' theorem. And Bayes' theorem was, Thomas Bayes was, a few centuries back. So Bayes' theorem was invented in the 18th century, in 1763. And even the first neural network machine, which was an analog machine, was actually SNARK, which was done in the 1950s. But still, why we didn't see much advancement in machine learning and artificial intelligence? It's about data, actually, and then probably machine learning is one of the cases which is a perfect example of creativity, a cross-disciplinary, working together, because machine learning never got started from computer science. These two gentlemen that you see in the slide on the bottom of there, so David Hubel and Thorsten Wiese, they invented, or they basically figured out how in cat and mouse, how the visual cortex work. How our eyes actually, process any images, and then the brain identifies, oh, this is a cat, this is a dog, this is something else. And this was in 1950s, 1960s. And then they presented that paper. They actually got Nobel Prize in 1980. And that had nothing to do with computer science. But then one of the computer science professor from Tokyo, Professor Fukushima, he picked up, around 1981, he picked up that research work and thought, I can actually design an algorithm based on the visual cortex, and which can actually, go step by step and can start to identify, images by the machines. But still, that didn't progress that much. Then in 2006, Fei Li, she's an American-Chinese researcher and professor at Princeton. She discussed with Christian Feldbaum. I mean, she's a German-American professor and a linguist, actually, not in computer science. Feldbaum actually created something called WordNet, where there were lots and lots of words in a dictionary to be processed by machines. So Fei Li was looking into, okay, why machine learning is not progressing much, and then she started to look into how a human learns. So if you see a child, how does she learn? How does she know that this is a cat, this is a dog, and this is a lion? And because that image processing is important for learning, and then you start to process images which are letters, numbers, and so on. A normal human eye can process images at 10 frames per second. So if you just do a simple calculation, which means in an hour, it will be around 36,000 images, 36,000 data elements. So within a year, it will be around 315 million images that Chai will process. So then faithfully thought, that's where the problem is. It's not about the algorithms, because Bayes' theorem, as we saw, was there since 1763. It's about the data, because we don't have that much amount of data to train our models. So she started a project called ImageNet, which is still one of the largest data project right now, where she started with cats and dogs images and asked humans to annotate them. Take a photograph and then say whether it is a cat or a dog. And she started that project. Around 2008, she presented that paper, and then used the Amazon service called Mechanical Turk, where human workers can actually tag the images. And then she started to use the already existing algorithm since, at least for centuries, to categorize that. And she started a competition. So in around 2012, one of the algorithms, or one of the models, AlexNet, it was the first real winner, where the error rate was really minimal. But then it was beaten in 2015 by the Microsoft deep learning model. And very recently, actually this year, Google is the current winner for ImageNet, where they trained the model with 2 billion data points. And that's just going on and on. So right now, the accuracy rate is more than 96%. So it's all about data. And that's why it was not progressing that much. I'm personally involved with these three, being from the telecoms. Of course, I work in the telecoms industry. So within 5G, I am involved in many of the machine learning work where it is actually improving efficiency, reducing cost. Natural language processing, I'm spending quite a lot of time recently on some of the projects with the UK government and some of the universities, Warwick University, and also a Turing Institute named after Alan Turing. And medical diagnostics. This is something that is very close to my heart as well. So we started an open source project. Subhashji is involved as well, and some of the researchers. We'll talk quickly about that. So within telecom, especially on 5G, because 5G is a step changer. So once it arrives in India, we will see that as well. It will actually transform our business life, our daily life. And from technological perspective, 5G is very different. 5G is software based. Every service within 5G is not really a hardware. It's based on software. So we are using machine learning within 5G to intelligently slice the network, because the same network, same mobile network is used for various things. It's used for IoT, it's used for our voice calls, it's used for data communication, it's used for industrial data exchange. So the network needs to be sliced intelligently based on who is actually interacting. So now we are using machine learning model to do that slicing instead of some static slicing beforehand. When antenna, or a base station as we call it, for a mobile network, when they are used by a mobile device or an IoT device, so instead of the antenna spreading the beam, the electromagnetic beam everywhere, it can actually focus the beam specifically towards the mobile device within 5G. And when the mobile device moves, the beam can move as well. So we are using now deep reinforcement learning to efficiently manage the beam, to predict that, okay, the mobile will move left or right, or it will remain static. Also, we are using machine learning to enhance the device experience, using lots of parameters like the sensors within the device, the location, how far it is from the base station, to enhance the experience of the device so that the connectivity is never lost. And also using on-device machine learning models to enhance the security within the device. The devices need to hand over when you are moving. the device need to be handed over from one cell to another. And then the handover process is expensive. It takes time to do a handover from one tower to another tower. So now we are using machine learning to predict where the handover should happen, so that some of the processes can be done beforehand, before even the handover is actually done. And also, especially with 5G, interference is very, very complicated, because 5G uses millimeter-sized waves, and then the interference can actually kill the entire beam. So where interference can happen, to predict that, we are using now machine learning models to avoid interference paths. Natural language processing, as I mentioned, this is one of the very emerging field of machine learning, and it has got a lot of potential. Because one thing that you may have seen, that within the within the computers world, one of the things that has not evolved much is the user interface, right? We still use, even if you're using an app, the user interface is still very kind of visual, right? But in normal life, majority of the interaction that we have is through voice, is through language. So I truly believe that language is going to be the ultimate user interface. And we are seeing it already with Siri, with Amazon Alexa, and so on. But language is very hard for machines, and it's very easy for humans. So I just wrote few words. So I run every morning. We will run out of milk soon. I managed to do the dry run of the presentation before the talk. Or I have an idea, I would like to run past you. Here the word run is used in 4 sentences, but the context is completely different. And that's the difficulty about language. Humans can process the context very easily. For machines is very, very difficult, and it's really, really hard. And the other thing is, natural language processing, or language data, is not really structured data. It's unstructured. The reality is, majority of the data that we have in the world is actually unstructured, not really structured. And this is where there's a lot of research that is needed, and it's going on. We are not there yet, but we will be. Some of the important aspects of NLP, natural language processing, just included here, like stemming. Different words have got different roots, but they all can, if you can understand the root, like for example, run or ran, if it is past tense, they are all rooting from the stemming from the same word run. If you can understand that, and our human brains understands that behind the scene, and that's context. So that is something that the machines need to learn, and it's not really easy for them. Lemmatization is similar. It's going back to the roots. Some of the words are not really useful in a language. So for example, if I say this is cat or this is a cat, instead of that, if I just say this cat, you will still understand it. So the words is a are not really needed for understanding. So those are stop words for the machines. They are not really needed. Part of speech tagging is to understanding which is noun, which is verb, so that the machines can actually understand it a bit more. Named entity tagging, that's something that's not that straightforward. So like for example, in a sentence, if it is Bill Gates is written or a dollar bill is written, so the bill word has different, is the same entity, but the emotions are different. So Bill Gates is a person, and a dollar bill is currency, money. And dependency passing, so dependency between different words, that creates the context. That is very easy for humans, but very difficult for machines. Some of the applications that I am seeing right now are used by NLP, credit assessments. So when you are assessing a credit, majority of the data that you are assessing are unstructured. They could be verbal, they could be, they will not always be numbers or stored in database. And in some countries where there are no credit rating agencies, which is majority of the countries right now, the data is unstructured. You will have some sort of verbal discussions. You will have some sort of transactions verbally with some agent, or there could be social media feeds, LinkedIn feeds, and so on. To use that to do a credit assessment is where NLP is playing a big role right now. Machine translation, we have seen how Google Translation is transforming many of even within the education world. Customer interactions. I mean, this automation is business critical because it's expensive. I come from the telecom world. I was working in Vodafone Group for quite long. So each customer call was costing us £25. If it is a 50 processing to reduce the cost, because now it's automated through the machine learning model. And some of the others are like sentiment analysis. I talked about the Facebook machine learning model, which can use emotional temperature check or sentiment analysis to identify if the person is suicidal or not. And healthcare, I'll talk about healthcare next as the next big thing happening in machine learning. So medical diagnostics is something where machine learning can not only improve the life, it can save a lot of lives actually. And this is where I'm spending time right now because I had some personal losses as well due to medical diagnostics error or late medical diagnostics as well. There's a lot of work that's going on. So these are all at research stages. There are some in India as well. So Miramai, for example, is a Bangalore-based startup. So they're doing a classification for breast cancer, and their accuracy is much more than what normal or standard traditional medical diagnostics can do, including mammography. So this is something that we initiated where Subhasji is involved as well. So we started an open source initiative to identify ovarian cancer at a very, very early stage. So we created a convolutional neural network. And what it can do is within a cancer diagnostics, what happens is the person thinks that, or the medical person thinks that the person has got some sort of tumor. Then the first thing they do is they do a 2D ultrasound scan because that's very non-intrusive and it's less expensive. But the 2D ultrasound scan image is not very efficient for humans. So because there are lots of echoes, so the pathologist or the radiologist cannot actually predictively say that the tumor is cancerous or not. They will say, oh, maybe there is a tumor, let's do more tests. And then from the day of that 2D ultrasound scan, and when the confirmation happens that the person has got cancer, there's a big lag there. And then if we can detect when the 2D ultrasound scan is done that the tumor is actually cancerous, so it is malignant, not benign, we can actually save a lot of life. And this is what we are trying to do in a completely open source way. And we have proven this thing with breast cancer data because we found from an open source data initiative, huge amount of 2D ultrasound images for breast cancer patients, completely anonymous data. And then we transformed those data to add more by creating more data, by doing some simple data transformation like rotating the images with a few degrees. So each data element was then converted into 8 more data elements. So we had around 1,000 data points. So we converted it into 8,000 data points. And we trained the CNN model that we created. And now we have achieved 75% accuracy. So just with that 2D ultrasound image of a breast cancer, a tumor, we can actually identify with 75% accuracy whether that tumor is cancerous or not. And now we are actually working with few of the hospitals to get the same data for ovarian cancer. And Subhashji is helping, and some of the researchers with Subhashji are helping us out on the data. So there's a lot happening here, and a lot more to be done. And as Subhashji said, that in the future it will be more and more machine learning usage in our daily life. And I believe the future is now; it's happening right now, and then more and more that needs to happen. And I'll conclude with one of my most favorite writer, Arthur C. Clarke, that he said a while back that any sufficient advanced technology is not distinguishable from magic. So the amount of things or the type of things that we are seeing with machine learning almost feels like magic. Like if we can, with the ovarian cancer diagnostic that we are talking about. So some of the researchers said that if we can actually diagnose at that stage, we can actually save 90% of the lives. So which is, no less than magic if we can save that many lives. So with that, I'll conclude. And thank you very much for inviting me. And I know we are overrunning, and sorry about that.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Gautamji. Thank you. Excellent deliberation and presentation. Really, it is a very thoughtful presentation that is benefited to the candidates. And we are very much thankful to you for your continuous help and participation in many of our activities. Really, it is great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Once again, I must have to welcome that Anupamji. Again, I'm calling you are connected, the principal of the Sri Aurobindo Institute of Technology, Indore. But it is visible that your connection is there. And I have also appreciated the participation of the large number of professors of Indian Institute of Business Management.
Good afternoon, sir.
Oh, Anupamji?
Yes, good afternoon, sir. I am very much there since morning, inspired by all the sessions as well as your motivation.
I am observing you have been connected from the morning, and I have called you 2-3 times.
Right.
That to give your introduction that Anupamji is there. So, and from the Indore, he is connected from the great institute, Sri Aurobindo Institute of Technology, and working as the principal of there. And here the number of speakers, Subhashji there, right. Subhash Jadhav, Professor Subhash Jadhav from Professor and Head Department of Computer Science and Technology from Jharkhand University, Central University.
Namaskar, sir. Namaskar, Anupam sir.
And
thank you.
Sauji there, he is the Professor and former Head of the Department of Management Studies of the Motilal Nehru National Institute of Technology, and he is the in charge of our e-governance. He is the chairperson of the e-governance special interest group of the Computer Society of India, which is the biggest and the most important event of the CSI conducted under his chairmanship. And our foreign speaker Gautam is there also, who has just delivered an excellent talk and excellent presentation had been there. And what I always try to do in our webinars, to give just the theoretical as well as the practical mix, we generally invite the people from the academia as well as the industry. In every webinar, if you have seen the flyers, you can see if 2 speakers are from the academia, 1 must be from industry, sometimes 2 from industry, 1 from academia, and sometimes 1 from foreign and other from the other. For completely the mixed culture. That's what Gautam has presented. That's really, and he is a practitioner, and he was working on the implementation and application of the data science and machine learning. And that is why everybody has seen what excellent presentation he has really given. So that is the main concept, because as I have told in my welcome speech as the presidential address, because something if you listen, we forget, and if you read, we can understand. But if we practice, we can realize. That is why in every of the webinar, we invite some of the practitioner also. And that the great personality like GP Sahu, an authority so far as the data science application is concerned, being a professor and former head of the Department of Management. Subhas having very excellent presentation so far as the core of the machine learning, and then followed by the practical implication by Gautamji and everything. And I also appreciate the participation of number of professors from the Indian Institute of Business Management, like Dr. Ajay, like Nirupam, Ashok, and many more. So that's a great, and this was a great webinar. Okay, over to Rohit. Rohit, please. And we express our sincere gratitude to all of you.
Sir. Thank you so much, sir. So now it's a time for our last but not the least session, and it's a time for vote of thanks. And for that,
Rohit, any question? Any question anybody is having?
Yes. No, sir. Still, we are not having any type of questions from the audiences.
Okay.
So we should proceed towards our last session, sir. So for vote of thanks, I would like to welcome Professor Ganesh Pandey, sir, who is a Deputy Director of Indian Institute of Business Management, Patna. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Rohit ji. Honorable President of the International Webinar, my guru, my mentor, Professor A.K. Naik, Advisor, IIBM Group, former President and fellow CSI and member Data Management Committee, ISO. Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Girish Kr, Choudhary, Vice Chancellor, Patna University. Honorable Guest of Honor, Professor P. Prabhakar, President-elect, the Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers. Honorable Keynote Speaker, Professor G.P. Sahu, Professor and former Head, School of Management Studies, Motilal Nehru, NIT Allahabad. Honorable Invited Speaker, Professor S.C. Jadhav, Professor and Head, Department of Computer Science, Central University of Jharkhand. Honorable Foreign Speaker, Mr. Gautam Hazari, Technical Director, GSM Association, London, UK. Respected dignitaries from CSI, other guests, faculty, and staff member of IIBM, their participants, and invitees of one-day international webinar. It is my privilege to express my sincere gratitude and present my vote of thanks for the Honorable President of the function, my guru, my mentor, Professor A.K. Naik, who has been instrumental for conducting near about 600 number of webinars under the banner of CSI and IIBM at different locations of the country. अब नायक सर के बारे में क्या कहना है, पूरा वर्ल्ड बीमार रहा लेकिन नायक सर की गाड़ी चलती रही, हम और सब भी वेबिनार में आपको बताए हैं। ये भी कोरोना से ग्रसित हुए, कोरोना में रहते हुए इनकी आवाज में थरथराहट थी, तब भी ये वेबिनार में अपना भाषण करते रहे। और इनका मानना है कि छोटे मन से कोई बड़ा नहीं होता, टूटे मन से कोई खड़ा नहीं होता। निगाहों में मंजिल थी, गिरे और गिरकर संभलते रहे, हवाओं ने बहुत कोशिश की मगर चिराग आंधियों में भी जलते रहे। तो सर
थैंक यू
आपका आप में जो उमंग है, आप में जो जोश है अपने नए विद्यार्थियों के लिए, नए जनरेशन के लिए, ये हमेशा इसी टाइप से बना रहे, इसी का शुभकामना मैं करता हूं। इतने भाई चांसलर आप गिन नहीं सकते हैं कि कितने भाई चांसलर इस वेबिनार में आए। नायक सर के प्रति जो इतने VC लोगों का लगाव है, मैं उनसे सलाम करता हूं। सर, on behalf of the IIBM Management Committee and student community, we express our sincere thanks for delivering the presidential address on this occasion. I am also equally thankful to Chief Guest Professor G.K. Choudhary, Vice Chancellor, Patna University. Sir, on behalf of the IIBM Management Committee and Student Committee, we express our sincere thanks for delivering the addressing the students, and dear participants. Sir, today we had an opportunity to hear your thoughts, and this will surely be going to encourage us in our future events. Thank you for their gracious presence and addressing with their valuable words in this international webinar. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. I am also equally thankful to our guest of honor, Professor P. Prabhakar, President-elect the Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication, who had spared time from his busiest schedule to grace the occasion. My expression of vote of thanks from the core of my heart to keynote speaker, Professor G.P. Sahu, Professor and former head, School of Management Studies, Motilal Nehru, NIT, Allahabad. Thank you for aspiring and encouraging us with your words on this special day. I would like to express our sincere thanks to invited speaker, Professor S.C. Yadav, Professor and Head, Department of Computer Science, Central University of Jharkhand, for joining the event and excellent addressing with their valuable words in this webinar. My special thanks goes to foreign speaker, Mr. Gautam Choudhary, Technical Director, GSM, Association of London, UK. Thank you very much, sir, for joining the event and addressing with their valuable words in this webinar. I also express my sincere thanks to coordinator, Professor Rohit Kumar, for hosting the events. Last but not least, my sincere thanks goes to all participants of the webinar who made the event successful. Thank you. Thank you, you all.
Thank you also. Thank you. Very good. Excellent.
So thank you so much, sir. And now we will come towards the end of our today's webinar. And I pray God to have a great success of this webinar. I hope all the participants had take home some of the information which our dignitaries had shared with you. So with all your permission, I would like to sign off our today's meeting. Thank you for